live. Can anybody hear us?
We don't have any people watching.
This is the ASMR edition of Bass and Beer Radio.
Yeah. It's just the real edition of Bass and Beer Radio. Stop it. Hello?
Oh my God. All right, let's see.
Hello?
There's nobody watching.
Somebody get on here and tell us if you can hear us or not. Get on your phone and see if you can hear us or not.
Hey,
We have sound.
we have sound.
We have sound.
We have sound.
We're back.
We don't have anybody watching, but we
There's
have sound.
nobody watching, but we're back.
Let's share this on Facebook real quick. Let's get some people in here.
Yeah, let me.
Oh, my phone is. About
Hey,
to die.
Andrew hears us. Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
I have no idea what the. You know what? I'm gonna cuss. I have no idea what the fuck just happened, but that pissed me off. Thank you. I do have a beautiful voice. I've been working on my radio voice for 3 years now.
We were going to do an ASMR version of
It was going to be the Bass and Beer Radio Brill edition.
Yes. We were going to whisper into the microphones to see if anyone could hear us. Kind of like those dumb chicks do on YouTube.
Okay, but so tonight we're going to be talking about big crankbaits, JDM lures, Kentucky Lake. Do you need reverse on a trolling motor? And
Oh, we're talking about JDM wars too.
we are going to talk about some JDM lures.
Yeah.
And Santee Cooper, right? Did you say you want to talk
And
about
Kentucky
Santee
Lake,
Cooper?
Kentucky Lake, Santee Cooper.
Oh my God.
Quick, somebody's farting in the mic.
If I fart, I might poop on the mic.
All right. We have sound. Thank you guys for your patience. We haven't had technical issues in quite a while, which
Yeah,
has been
actually,
good, but
yeah.
we just, I don't know, we had to restart the
Nah, you gotta have some
computer.
technical issues every once in a while just to spice things up,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Tony, give me a beer. Come on.
Beer man. Big Michelob guy.
I just
Here
gotta-
for it.
Santee fishing tournament tomorrow.
Guys, quiet.
Yes,
Beautiful.
that was amazing.
This show doesn't have sound. I don't know why. Probably China. Okay. I'm going to call Elon. Elon is going to come and fix it. Okay. We're going to have the #1 podcast. Kamala wouldn't have had the #1 podcast, but we do. Okay. A lot of people wouldn't have had sound, but we
Santee
fixed
fishing
it.
tournament tomorrow. Fishing tournament tomorrow there. Got my rocks to throw at boats.
Nice.
There you go. But yeah, we're back. We got some sound. You guys can hear us now. Thank you guys for joining. Morgan, thank you for the like. If anybody is watching right now, please hit that like button and the share button so we can try to get some mofos back in here that we just lost because of the technical difficulties. We depend on you to help spread the word of the Bass and Beer Radio, which
gotta give
is
give
the
some-
bass fishing gospel.
Andrew, just defend yourself, but give Jason Christie some slack because he's awesome.
I want to say a big shout out to Morgan Oliver. Morgan's been a very big help for me getting this bullet dialed in. I'm going to hopefully get to run it this weekend, but the winds don't look super cooperative, so I'm going to do the best I can to get some numbers and
Fuck it.
get a
Send
little bit of seat time in her and, see what we got. But
I tagged Propeller Dynamics in the Facebook comments. Make sure you go to the Propeller
Jason.
Dynamics Facebook page and give them a like and a share.
definitely want to take a trip down there, too. And,
Or a follow, I mean.
Tony, do you still make chicken coops? I don't think I've ever built a chicken coop in my life.
I took a tool shed and made it into a chicken coop, but I did not build one.
Did you mean Chad? Does Chad still is that who you meant? Because I've never unless there's
I'm
an
the
inside
chicken
joke
man.
that I'm not aware of, which would be funny.
Andrew, that's why I said give Jason Christie some slack because if you see him, you're in the right area.
I don't know why that has always stuck with me. The chicken coops.
All right, well, there you go.
You're the chicken man, apparently. You don't
know.
you don't even
know.
have
I don't.
chickens.
I mean,
No, dude. Whatever. Hey, cool.
he is big time into cock. So
Oh yeah, dude. There's a massive cock in my tool shed.
Damn it.
do you want to see Chad's massive cock?
Oh man.
He's gonna go get it.
And nobody's watching anymore. Anyways, like we said, we got some interesting topics that we're going to be talking about tonight. Big crankbaits.
Oh, apparently Chad said you were building a chicken coop one time.
What? I wasn't on the show. Chad said I was building a chicken coop.
That was probably me saying that Taylor was going to make you build a chicken coop at some point.
I don't know. Probably not.
Maybe.
Stupid
Probably.
chicken. I hate chickens.
So
We
Chickens
like
are
to eat
stupid.
healthy though, and chickens produce healthy eggs.
Chickens are healthy.
So
Anyway.
let's start off with a little tournament talk
Yes.
because that's going to kind of lead into one of our other conversations.
I want to talk Kentucky, man, because Kentucky is a place that I fished Kentucky Lake twice. I fished it in 2018, 2018 and 2019 for the FLW Open. And I had a very bad experience both times I was there, probably because I just really wasn't a good fisherman back then. Not to say I'm great now, because I'm not, but I struggled a lot on Kentucky. Now, when I was there, it was the height of the Asian carp issue, which is actually really neat because we're looking at the Bassmaster website right now. Kentucky Lake has essentially really turned into a really good smallmouth fish.
Get ready for
Since the Asian carp have moved in, Kentucky Lake has really kicked off. Since it's rebounded, but the smallmouth have really been dominant on that lake, which is
Because
pretty neat.
they're
Where's the standings right now?
click leaderboard.
There it is.
So a lot of that is because of the Asian carp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're still in there.
Damn, Matt Robertson's sitting in 9th place. That guy's my spirit animal.
So the
What's up, Steven?
the smallmouth there, from what I understand, the smallmouth are
What's up, Charles? Thanks for joining, brother.
are very pelagic there, so they're not affected by
Makes sense.
the carp.
I'm
The
probably going to
largemouth-
say your last name wrong, but Karan, thanks for joining, brother.
Yeah, and I think with forward face, I bet you those fish have probably always been there. They probably just now they're easier to catch with forward facing.
Well, even like I mean, we had forward facing in 2020, and they weren't catching bags of smallmouth like that. That's really just happened.
But they
over the last
weren't
couple
really
of years.
Yes, but tournaments, I feel like big tournaments like
2020 was when forward facing really kicked off. In
yes,
big tournaments.
But my
That's
point
when
is
it went from a few people had it to it was literally on every single boat.
correct. But from 2019 to like maybe 23, there wasn't a lot of big tournaments there. The
there was-
Bassmaster Elite Series went
What's
there
up,
every
Jim?
year.
Not pro tournaments, but there were big tournaments there.
Yeah,
I mean,
well,
you had like
right.
Toyota series, and stuff there, which is being fished by. I mean, you have pros that fish those.
Yeah,
Like Matt Robertson, is in the top 10. So
right.
why
Yeah,
don't we trace those striper in the bay? Me and Frank were just talking about doing that today.
That is a lot of fun. It's a ton of fun. Yeah. You get some schoolie striper and they're
No.
freaking blowing really hard.
No.
Top water.
Me and Frank are looking for them big ones.
Oh, looking for the cows.
We're gonna go lives, go some giant stripers.
Yeah.
that's fun.
You can definitely do it.
Yeah, that's fun. But yeah,
But yeah, so Kentucky Lake.
It's just not bass and rockfish radio. It's bass and beer radio.
Yeah, it's bass and beer radio, not sea bass and beer radio. Although it kind of is.
wait. So would cow season traditionally? What was cow season? Would that be right now?
Yes.
On, like the
Yes.
flats.
It's now or
Yeah,
very
Flats is
close.
catching a release right now.
Is it? So, but they still have it. It's just only catch and release.
Can you even do catch and You can't
Yes.
even actually boat the fish, can
No.
you? No, you have to like get them off the hook and drop them over the side of the
It
boat.
is catch-
You
it's
get a
catch-
citation if you pull them into the boat.
No shit.
It's catching and release from Turkey Point to just above Lapidum.
Okay. Cool. That's still fun though. I mean, it is a lot of fun.
And
Now,
then
you
from
can
there to
catch
the
a lot of
dam
bigs right
is
there
off
between the
limits,
bridge and
and
Lapidum.
below Turkey Point is off limits.
Oh, okay.
But
Cool.
Whoopsie.
Well, they
Bob-
catch them on top water too, which is a lot of fun.
not as much this time of year.
Really?
Yeah.
Jim, he doesn't have nothing like that down
Jerk
he-
bait.
They have
down-
snook. That's their
Yeah.
closest.
dude,
thing.
they have all
snook.
kinds of
How
stuff.
come you don't chase like tarpon or snook
It's probably not that. May not be that close.
or big or bull reds? I know there's bull reds down yonder, right?
I don't know how much redfish. That's a Carolina thing. That's a big Carolina thing. I don't know how much like bull red. Like
We travel to go fishing.
like Gulf
Jim could
side.
travel sometimes too. Jim, why don't you come up here to Maryland? Let's hang out.
I mean, I know it's big on the Gulf side, but I don't know how big it is on the.
I mean, reds are becoming a
Atlantic
bay
side.
thing. Really? I mean, they're like there's,
They've been a bay thing for a long time.
but it seems like it's a little bit more and more.
Way more south.
There's a
What's
there-
up, Jason?
Yeah, down not that far south.
Like Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
Down or like just below the Bay Bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Down around the chop tank.
Oh, they got.
Oh, yeah,
Jim
mega
says they
reds
do have
there.
some big
Yeah.
ass reds.
I've always wanted to. I want to. So I want to fish for reds when they're like on the flats,
Yeah.
like
Right.
feeding
like
on
where
where
you can
we
like
could
see
sight
'em.
fish them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. Snook, redfish.
He's got to catch so many double-digit largies to stay on the bullshit.
That's funny. What else has he got down? I mean, they got tarpon down there too.
Yeah.
You can apparently. I was just. I read a Facebook post about a guy like he was talking about like lack of access to water in a place that he's been fishing for years, and the place that he was talking about that's closed off now is a place where he can catch tarpon in Virginia.
Really?
Virginia.
Yeah.
What?
Is that like mouth of Potomac or like those rivers down there?
Mouth
That's
of the
crazy.
bay, or like mouth of the bay.
They have like
Those are some explosive fish.
Dude, there's some cool rivers down. There's some
Insanely expensive
cool
fish.
tidal fisheries down there, like the North Landing River, Elizabeth River, and all stuff like that. There's some neat places.
Oh,
to
you
fish
can,
down there.
yeah. You
Jim,
can use bullsheds
I
for
definitely,
smoking.
I want to see some snook and carpet on a bull shed. I know you can definitely do it, but I want to see it because it's fucking cool.
I want to see.
Patrick, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
I want to see you take like a Roman-made mother and catch a Goliath grouper on it.
What? I feel like they're fishing that like grouper like so deep.
No, they catch them off piers down there.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I guess that's true. How deep can the pier be? What's up, Dustin? We
Yeah,
got
Dustin said there
freaking
was tarpon in
hammer
the bay
Dustin
last
up
year.
in here.
Yeah, they've definitely started moving farther.
There were
north.
tarpon in the bay last year.
Yeah,
Yeah, there were a couple guys that
What?
caught them. Yeah.
I heard.
Yep. There were a couple guys. There were some caught. Yep.
That's crazy. I heard there was like dolphins as far up as like Carroll Island.
But that's
Oh,
not like
farther north
rare
than that.
though. That does happen.
Really?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
there were dolphin.
Salinity content's high, which is why the freaking bass are pushed back in there farther.
There were dolphin at the bottom end of the flats last year.
That's pretty wild.
It happens. They follow the bait up, so they follow the menhaden up.
Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We got comments
All right.
rolling in.
So Kentucky Lake, right now leading that is 48 or 49 pounds for 2 days. That is
48.4.
24 pounds each day, pretty consistent. I mean, a lot of big bags. Miles Berghoff had 25.6 today. There was a guy who had 25 yesterday. Jordan Hartman had 25 yesterday. I think there was a bunch of 20-pound bags, and most of these are smallmouth. So
Yeah, it's pretty neat to see.
I'm tagging Matt Robertson. Why not?
I wonder if
no, I'm not. They're there. I know where they're at.
I'm wondering if
You're 2-3 months late, Paul.
I'm wondering.
I just don't fish in the freezing cold like you do.
What's up, Thomas?
like
That's a fishing mofo right there.
People don't
Yeah.
people don't realize, man, that like Kentucky Lake is a huge place.
Yeah, it's a very big
It is
body of water.
massive, and it's not just Kentucky. Like Kentucky Lake is massive, and Lake Barkley is
I was
also
gonna say
massive.
you can always lock to Barkley too.
Joe,
Well, you don't
I
even
thought,
have
I
to
thought
lock.
you were
You can
MD
just go right
resident.
to
Where
it.
are you? Up in Pennsylvania?
I thought you had to lock to Barkley.
Nope, there's a canal. You can just run right into Barkley. So when I fished there in 2019 and 18, I did. I think 18 actually. I did
What?
I did run into Barkley a couple times.
That's sick.
But again, I didn't have any electronics. I didn't really know what I was doing.
Charles Barkley was out there.
Yes. The thing about it is, like, back in those days, that was before live scope. So the dominant patterns on Kentucky Lake at the time was like flipping bushes and big square bills, and which kind of brings us into our another topic
Well,
is
and-
like the big baits. You know, like the big crankbaits.
and
like,
ledge fishing.
yes.
Don't forget that.
Yep. So like that big crankbait thing that we saw Brandon Polnick win down on Okeechobee, like we haven't seen it a ton, but that's like an old school thing, man.
So-
like guys did that for years on places like Kentucky Lake.
Thanks for
Recently,
the like, Alexis. Appreciate it.
I know recently, 4 or 5 years ago, Rick Clunn finished. He top 10 on Lake Fork.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was Lake Fork, one of those Texas lakes, and he was throwing the it's the Ichikawa Kong crankbait,
Mm-hmm.
which is it's a 1.5 ounce square bill.
Yeah.
You know, it's a giant. It's a 3.5 inch long square bill, which is a giant square bill. You had a Skeet Reese one on Kentucky Lake, throwing the Magnum SKT, which is again giant, just a giant crankbait.
You can tell that these fish are pelagic because if you scroll up a little bit, Chad,
Where the hell's all the big names I'm used to? In
open. This is
This
open.
is the open. There's Ish Monroe.
Okay.
So if you scroll up, stop, Go down a hair. Go down. Keep going. Keep going. Keep
Bo
going.
Browning. Bo Browning's
Keep going down. And when I'm looking at it, there were some like this guy Brent
John
Anderson, right?
I saw John Murray.
18, almost 19 pounds day one.
TIU.
0 day 2. That tells me that these fish are completely pelagic, or he had boat problems. But then right below him, there's a guy that's 0 day 1 and he caught 19 pounds the next day.
Also could be boat order.
Yeah.
That could have been an early boat draw on day 1, late boat draw on day 2. You know, the order gets reversed. So when you have that many boats in a tournament, scroll all the way to the bottom. I mean, look, you're looking at there's a bunch of zeros, so probably 230 boats. That's a lot of freaking boats.
Yeah, that's a lot of boats.
Even on big bodies of water. I know there were 250 in the tournament Frank fished in October on Grand, and Grand is a giant lake also. Mm-hmm. And he said like literally everywhere you went, like every cove on the lake had 5 boats in it.
Yeah,
minimum.
Yeah, it's really hard to
definite
find
pattern
stuff
then.
in those tournaments. It's hard to find shit by yourself in a 50 boat tournament in this area. I mean, you imagine.
It's
there's just so many.
Not hard.
Well, it's hard to find your own stuff that nobody else has.
Yes.
That's what
It's
makes
just
it
like
hard.
it's
I feel
just
like-
like sitting on that clear flat. It's just like anybody can look across there and see that you're yoking into something.
Well, and the thing of it is too is that like on these multi-day tournaments, like you don't just find one spot. Like you gotta find 3, 4, 5 spots where
What's your Brandon Paladin?
but it might not be
Going out big
a
M.
spot.
Then 4 people can fish the same spot for 4 days.
It might not be a spot where you're going to go and catch all your big fish in one day. I mean, you might have.
Oh,
Damn!
damn.
Called him out.
Was it
at least
was it
it
an
wasn't-
aluminum Ranger, John?
least
No,
he-
it wasn't aluminum. You wouldn't even have made it here.
At least he's not shitting on the skeeter tonight.
He just keeps on shitting on whatever he feels like it because the bullets are the best.
That's what they say.
John with JCS Marine. We'll tag JCS Marine in the comments.
So
Check them out.
are we talking about the big crankbaits or are we talking about tournaments?
Let's stick with the Kentucky Lake tournament
Okay.
for now.
So Kentucky, we've talked about Kentucky Lake. It's a smallmouth tournament. They're scoping. 100% they're scoping. Probably everybody that's in the top 10 is scoping.
Oh yeah.
It's just the way the Kentucky Lake's been fishing for the last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
It's a very offshore type deal. It's big, it's big smallmouth. They're pelagic. You're not going to catch them shallow.
Are they hanging a mini? Do you know?
Of course.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. I mean, I would imagine a jerkbait's probably in play.
So actually, Randall Tharp was catching them on topwater.
Really?
Yeah, he posted a video. It's insane to see how many fish are blowing up next to his boat. Dude, it looks like carp.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Like it just looks like a bunch of carp swimming around. There must have been hundreds of them.
Yeah. Jim says, how you like the bullet trim setup? Jim, I'm still learning how to drive it.
No, the billet trim setup that he posted that I tagged you in.
Oh, yeah, dude, that
that
was
was
How
wild.
sick was that?
That was wild.
Hey, we got Matt Downs
Hey,
with
what's up,
Trick
Matt?
Tins in the house. Thanks for joining, brother. If you guys haven't already, make sure you go to the Trick Tins official Facebook page and give him a follow.
But yeah, I mean, Kentucky is it's changed a lot, and I think it's the perfect little case study of how the yeah, I saw that. It's crazy. Yeah, we're looking at the video that Randall Tharp posted today about all these wolf packing of smallmouth.
That's not a wolf pack. That's a giant school.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Oh, it's gonna get better. Look at all those.
Oh my God! Whoa! I've never seen anything like that in my life.
That's not a wolf pack.
Where's that? We
Kentucky
need
Lake.
to play that.
That's Kentucky Lake.
Yeah, but where's that video?
On Randall Tharp's Facebook.
Randall Tharp's Facebook.
I'm sure he posted it on there.
Yeah, that's where I just put
R Andy.
that. ALL. Tharp.
Did was he the one that was bumping boats with Jason Lambert all those
No.
years ago?
No, he was the one who him and Matt Herron got.
We're
into
going
it.
to scene 2.
Remember him and Matt Herron got into it in that one tournament because they both.
This is the video we were just telling you guys about. This is pretty insane. The video, like the amount of fish that are in this video is crazy.
That is absolutely insane. Oh my God, dude, look at them schooling on that.
He's trying to get another one to take
Those
it out
are
of his
all
mouth.
like 3 pound plus smallmouth.
Yeah, they're giant.
Those are giant smallmouth.
I'm just waiting for the beat to kick.
That is absolutely ridiculous. And we're back.
I still hear the music and it never gets old. God, it's such a good song too.
Actually, that was the wrong thing that I just clicked on. Why? Why?
Either way, it's pretty cool what's going on out there. And again, I think it's a combination of the lake has changed a lot with the Asian carp. The Asian carp, no matter what, no matter how good the place is fishing now, the Asian carp did a lot of harm to that fishery. But with forward-facing sonar, a lot of these fish offshore now are getting pressure. And I think, like you said earlier, the smallmouth being pelagic, I think that it really, those Asian carp didn't affect them as much.
It's not that, and so
Dustin, it's about 13 hours, I think.
So it's not, and it's the largemouth population declining increased the amount of bait for the smallmouth, the pelagic smallmouth. So that helped too.
And really, what it did was the biggest thing that
Let's go, Dustin. I will pick a date. I'll take off. We can go.
The biggest thing that the Asian carp did on Kentucky Lake is killed a lot of the grass.
Chad is Googling it right now. Put in your address.
You got to put in your address. Yeah. And that's the other thing about Kentucky Lake too, is like it's so huge, dude. Like you're not running your boat from one end of Kentucky Lake to another.
12
hours
and 34
minutes.
Yep.
That's
doable.
not.
That's a one-day
painful.
drive.
That is totally doable.
That's an easy one-day drive.
It's mostly. I mean, it's pretty much all highway. Like when we did it before, it's not bad.
Like, look, you literally just go on. You go to Virginia, you get on 81, and you take 81 forever.
81 and then 6. Yeah, 81.
You're just on
64.
81
Literally until you get to
almost
40.
the whole way there.
Yep, takes you now that way. It takes you through Tennessee. When we actually
821 miles.
Yep.
Go back. Scroll. Go. Yeah. No, go back over that way.
This way?
Yeah. Yeah. And then wait to where the lake is. I was just looking at what it was around.
See, Kentucky Lake looks more like a river.
Well, it's Tennessee River.
It's an impoundment.
Yeah, it's just a massive impoundment. But now you're down by Paris Landing and stuff. That's where traditionally back in the day, a lot of your big bags would always come from Paris Landing, and then you got Barkley.
That's pretty cool.
81 is a long, boring ride.
Yep. Then you got Lake Barkley too. So Lake Barkley's massive as well.
Charles Barkley River.
Yes. But yeah, Lake Barkley was actually known for its smallmouth for a long time. I'm curious as to how many guys are actually fishing Lake Barkley, if any, because it depends on where they launch. If you launch at Kentucky
Where do
Dam,
you go every weekend for 12 hours, Patrick?
And where are there better smallmouth options closer?
St. Lawrence is closer.
At this time of year.
Okay, fair enough.
Is he about to say Conowingo?
No.
Because I don't know of too
Big
many
slack.
places other than...
Oh, I mean, dude, you could definitely make it up to the St. Lawrence way before that.
St. Lawrence is 7 hours.
Yeah.
But it's
there
frozen
it is
right now.
there.
But yeah,
Probably.
it's way too cold there.
I would
No, we can't go north right now. It's too cold.
I would say
Dale Hollow is a good one. It's just it's not
Jason is chasing some serious competition this year. Really stoked for him in the in that big
fishing the Bassmaster kayak
tournament.
series.
Yeah, freaking sick.
yeah, Kentucky's a cool place. It just I had bad experiences there because I wasn't good.
Thanks for the like, buddy. Appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining the show.
And when I fished on Kentucky Lake in 18 and 19, it was like the top 10 guys had like anywhere from 27 to like 20 pounds, and then the top 20 qualified. And I think 20th place qualified with like 9 pounds a day. So it was not at its height. It was probably at the peak of the decline of Kentucky Lake.
And prior to that, it was if I remember when you were out there, it would have been like your typical wedge fishing.
Yes.
Time.
Yep.
And the wedges were just
So
stacked with Asian carp.
So like 2018, I think was the last time FLW went there, and that's when Lambert was killing them. But after that, they stopped because
when
that was
him and,
actually a bad tournament.
when him
I'm
and
going to assume you're not at Adelphi anymore.
when him and Randy Haynes got into it, and
Correct.
Randy Haynes said,
Yeah.
"Screw you, I'm going home."
Yep. That was in 2018, and that was the last big tournament that's been to Kentucky Lake until now. And like when I say big, I mean Bassmaster.
Yeah, but you're not
Open.
catching 6 pounders, Joe. That's the issue. I want to go catch 6 pound smallmouth, like right now.
Dude, the old Whopper Plopper is such a hammer lure. I don't care what anybody says. It still catches.
You know what? You
fish.
could probably go to Pickwick right now and catch big smallmouth, or Cherokee.
Oh, that's funny.
You know, Big Eye Tony.
I did have a day like that on Conowingo this year. It wasn't quite that good, but it was
Dude,
comparable.
we've seen that happen on a glide bait up there on Conowingo a few times. I was in
Oh,
your
yeah.
boat.
Yep.
Not like that though.
No, they
No,
were like
not like
they were
that.
like
Not like
2
that.
pounders
Not like
instead
that.
of like 4s.
It was like wolf packs of 6 at a time. They were like pound and a half to 2 pounders.
Yeah.
So to Delphi, but top corner of Elkton.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I got you. I
ooh.
got you.
Yikes.
Got you.
Speaking, you mentioned big slack. I think I might go out and fish that this year.
It's just another place to go and play
Yeah,
around. I mean, why not?
I've never been there. You know, it's super clear water. I like fishing super clear water.
You know, I like fishing clear water.
You could probably it's probably a place to build
Completely
confidence
different
on a
than what
different.
we do around here, but like Lake Anna with the clear water was a lot of fun. So
So-
you have to like set up the boat completely different than what you would do here.
Yeah, from what Thomas told me, big slack makes Lake Anna look like mud.
Yeah.
There's 60 pounders mixed in.
Yeah, I've seen Pretty Boy Reservoir get to be 30 foot of visibility. I mean,
I've seen pretty
throw a
boy be
jig and
stupid clear too.
yeah, I mean, like you can throw a jig in 30
Joe's-
foot and watch
Joe
your
said-
jig bounce
yeah,
the bottom.
Joe says Liberty gets real clear.
What's
too.
up, Joe? Thanks for joining, brother.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen Loch Raven. I've seen Loch Raven be stupid clear in like the
Yep.
fall.
yeah.
Loch Raven's pretty clear a lot of the time compared to
Yeah,
tidal
well, it's
water.
got so much grass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps too.
Pretty Boy's gotten more, from what I've been told, more and more grass over the last
Really?
number of years. I haven't been on it since I think 2020 was the last time I went out there.
I seriously think that like I look back like sometimes 5 years ago and like do you remember when like the pond or the Forbidden Zone, some of those areas were just full of grass and now like there's no grass anywhere.
Oh yeah, like
I'm just so waiting for that to come.
what was it
back.
like 3 years ago? No, it was longer than that.
Dude,
Probably
the whole place was like
5
choked
years ago.
out.
It was just it was choked with
Choked
hydraulic.
out with grass. Like there was so much grass. It was insane. Water was clear. You had freaking grass hanging over drop offs in like 12 feet of water.
It was
like,
growing.
sick.
It was growing in 12 feet of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like hanging. Like it actually was on the bottom
That's
in 12 feet of
crazy.
water. It was sick.
yeah.
I'm waiting for it to come back to that glory.
Well,
But I wanna-
everything inside the bridge was a giant grass bed.
I won
Everything.
I won a club tournament in a pond, and I was throwing a chatterbait in 12 feet of water. The grass was like 5 feet off the bottom, so
Yeah.
I was throwing a chatterbait, coming through the top of the
They're
grass.
just freaking under there.
And Mike Lutz was back there, and he was just fun fishing. He's like, "Oh no, I'm fishing a tournament." I was like, "I'm gonna turn around and make one more pass, catch my 5th one. I'm getting the hell out of here."
Oh, dude, Pat, you let us know anytime you want to come out, man. You're more than welcome on the boat. Don't worry about the freaking fuel and shit, man. Just make it down here. We'll go out fishing. You just say when you want to go.
yeah. Yeah, I
Super
hope
clear.
that I hope the grass comes back on the gunpowder, but I just don't see it for a while until that upstream stuff is done.
It's gonna come in stages. It's gonna do it's universal rotation, whatever you want to call it. It's just not there right now.
I've noticed that I'm thinking that like all the work that like Gunpowder Riverkeeper and stuff has been doing with controlling that or making sure that
We need to get that fellow
development.
on the show.
Yeah, I need to reach out.
Yeah, we need to do that.
I gotta go over there. I just have noticed that when it rained, like at the last year, when it rained, it didn't stay dirty for like 2 weeks like it did last year, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
2023, like when it rained, that shit would stay dirty for like a month.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Like the whole season, it was freaking dingy with mud.
Now it gets it was still it's still that typical dirty water that's always back there, but it's not chocolate milk like it was 2 years ago.
Do me a big favor, everybody, if you're watching this right now. Give us a like if you haven't already, and share the podcast. Sharing is big. Hit the share button for us. Put it on your page. We appreciate you. You could win a gift card. I don't know.
I got some rods I gotta fix up tomorrow, dude. I got 2 Dobbins rods in the back of my truck right now. I did get I got that weird looking seat for the front of the boat, like the
saddle.
Yeah. I'm pretty pumped for that. I got it in the truck right now. I gotta put it on.
Oh, you got a saddle seat for the front now.
I want to.
Nice.
I want to know how you feel about that because I thought about getting one for my boat.
Did you get the dildo attachment?
No. I'm gonna
That
see
comes
how
later.
I like it first. But no, it was. I got it off brand on Amazon. It was like $100. It's like
the brand
Lou,
name was only
thanks
like
for joining, Lou.
140.
really.
Yeah.
I remember. I thought when they first came out, I thought they were like $300. I could be wrong. Though.
Maybe with the seat post.
Oh, that's okay.
If it's just the top, it's
Yeah, I got the
they're
seat
not-
post separately. I think I'm like $200 into it for a new seat post
Thank you, everybody,
And-
for the likes.
and the,
Appreciate it. Keep it coming.
and the bench seat, which is I'm pretty excited about it. I mean, because like the lean-to seats are fine, but you can't actually sit on them.
Mine are-
Empire. What is an Empire seat?
That's what Tony's talking about.
A saddle?
Yeah.
Joe says, "What do you fellows think of the first winter we've had in a while, and how will it affect the bite?" Joe, I think
That's a
that
great question,
Millennium.
honestly.
Oh.
It's a good question.
Millennium is what I was talking about. Yeah, they're $120 at Bass Pro. Did you get a Millennium?
no, I can tell you exactly what I got because I'm just going to look on it. It might have been, but let me look on
Millennium's
Amazon.
$120 at Bass Pro.
Those are not Empire seats.
Do a Millennium. Millennium's what Tony got. I'm not sure what Jim's talking about.
I'm gonna see exactly. It might have been a Millennium now that I look back on it, but I gotta look.
there.
Let me see my.
Okay. Is it actually like the mesh like that, or is it a cushion?
It's mesh.
That's a mesh.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
Lightweight.
They're pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I don't, John. I'm the same way. I don't use a seat at all until the waves get pretty gnarly.
I don't use a
shit
seat
gets
at
in my
all.
way.
I don't use a seat at all myself, but I gotta say that having one tremendously helps me with my bad ankles, which moves up into my back. So
It helps my back,
Yeah.
for sure. If I have it in, but it gets in my way, so I just deal with it.
the fact that I'm saying that at 30 years old is not good.
I just deal with it. It hurts.
Jim says I'm old. Give me a break.
My back still hurts from Anna, just from standing on the front deck. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've been
Long days.
trying to figure it out.
Long days staring down at a screen. That'll hurt. That'll do it.
I got rid of the beard.
It was the Millennium one. It was.
Yeah.
That's what I got. Yep. It was $116.
Nah, I just shaved the beard off. Yeah, I figured you said when I dyed my beard, I looked like 10 years younger. So this should give me at least what, like 20?
Hey, what's up, Chris?
Dude, if your beard was a little bit longer-
It is incredible what a beard does to your face.
If your beard was a
You look
little
like a
bit
different
longer, you
person.
could have had the Billy Mays thing going on.
You could literally,
Hi, Billy Mays here with Skeeter Bass Boats.
you could literally rob a bank with a beard and then shave it off, and they would not be able to identify you.
We don't condone robbing banks. Just saying.
I might. Depends on how much money he's getting away with, and can I have some?
Chad might do that.
No, I'm good.
All right, we don't condemn it then.
Not a bank. I'm just
All right,
saying.
a Bass Pro Shop.
Not a bank.
Bass Pro Shops.
I prefer stuff that's less traceable.
Like crankbaits.
Exactly. Jim shaves his balls to look younger.
Nice.
That is awesome. Probably.
I have so many things I could say right now, but
Say it.
yes, no.
Say it.
Nope.
It's okay.
Nope.
It's like a shriveled up mushroom or something.
No. I was definitely not going there. I was not going to talk about Jim's cock and balls.
I can only imagine.
About that time, boys. Yes, sir.
Smith Mountain.
Nope.
We haven't discussed it, but it's definitely on the table.
There's a big bass bash at Smith Mountain.
Oh no, we're not doing that.
That's right up your alley, dude. You're literally fishing all day for one bite.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, Jim should fish that. You can throw. Yeah.
Shit,
Chad.
me and Chris should just go up there and chuck massive glides the whole time.
Depth's 250s all day.
Ooh, I have a couple.
I mean, that's right up your alley.
I want to go to Smith Mountain. Why
Go
don't
up
we
there,
set that up?
catch a 6-pounder.
If you're gonna go, you better go now, because once after Memorial Day, you're not running your boat on that place on the weekend.
Well, I'm going to New York to snowboard one more time next week before fishing season comes in. So I'm not ready
April's
yet.
probably a good time for Smith Mountain.
One
April's a
fish,
great
one
time
boat.
for
Chris,
Smith Mountain.
Chris, let's go.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, end of March through early May is really good. But once the boat traffic happens there, it's so hard to fish. I mean, even the guys that fish Smith Mountain religiously will tell you the boat traffic there is just horrendous. I mean, it's Deep Creek or worse.
Z-Beck, what's up with the big tuna dreams?
Let's see.
And the thing of it is it's a highland reservoir. So when the boat traffic's the worst, the fish aren't in the creeks where you can get away.
$250 entry fee
For the big bass bash? Yeah.
per person.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a thing. I mean, it's, my buddy Zach fishes it every year.
And you can win a 2025 Nitro Z18 with a Mercury 150 with a Minn Kota Ultrex Quest.
Ranger?
Just said Nitro Z18.
Oh, Nitro. Okay.
Lou
I heard
says
Z.
the end of this month. Let's go, BFL. What's the BFL? The fishing
BFL and Smith Mountain, I'm sure.
Oh, the BFL in Smith Mountain.
Yep.
Aren't they each?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Chad?
Chad, me. That's me. I am Chad.
Chad?
Chad.
There you go.
Goop, goop.
Jim says just get one of them $100 flights down to Florida. He's got an extra room and extra gear.
Let's go.
Yeah, hop down there, do some Florida fishing.
We.
My buddy Rodney was just
should go next year.
he just caught some really nice fish
I think
on.
we're going to.
I think we should
I think we're definitely going to.
I think we should go next year. I think this
We
year.
need to set that up now
Yeah.
for next year.
Yes.
But we have the connections to go down there really at any time.
You really should go the first week of February, or end of January to February is when you go. But the thing about going at that time
Tony,
of year,
Dude,
Tony.
I'd pay $100 just to go down and hang out with Jim.
Not to burst your bubble or anything, but the best time to go down there is the best time that Jim tells us to go down
well,
there.
yes, that's also true.
Exactly. Exactly.
I feel like I'm going to listen to Jim more than I'm going to listen to you.
The thing
When
about
Jim
going,
says it's time to go.
the thing about going during and the time in like that end of December through early February is like you got fish spawning. You can punch reeds, hyacinth, stuff like that. But
What's up, snails?
you have to deal with
Jim says springtime or early summer.
Yeah,
Better.
but I mean, like if you want to fish like you see him on the Pro Series,
What's up, Dan? Thanks for
Go
joining,
down
brother.
now.
I don't want to fish like I see them on the Pro Series. I don't give a shit. I fish like them all the time. I can go to the Potomac and punch mass.
See, I want to punch a 2-ounce weight in hyacinth and catch a 10-pounder. Like that's, you know what I mean?
I want to go down there and throw fucking glide baits.
I want to go down there whatever the best time to catch a 10-pounder is.
Yeah, exactly.
Like-
On a glide bait.
On anything. Like I don't really give a shit.
Yeah, I would be stoked to catch a 10-pounder on anything, but if it's on a glide bait, it would just make me extra horny.
And you got thousands of tourists during those months. Yeah, that's actually true.
There's probably butt cheeks everywhere, though, so you can't be that angry.
It's a bunch of fucking old men. It's not the beach. It's fucking headwaters.
I can have dreams. Butt cheeks on headwaters.
More like alligator butt cheeks because they're literally everywhere. I mean, alligator. You got more alligators on that lake than seagulls. That's not a joke. Either.
We're gonna get back on track here, and we're gonna talk about one other tournament because this is kind of a big deal this year, since this trail decided at the end of last year to ban forward-facing sonar.
Exactly.
So the NPFL they just kicked off their first day on Santee Cooper. Again, no forward-facing sonar. They banned it, and it doesn't stop these guys from catching giant bags. Let me just tell you that, because there were 2 dirty 30s in this tournament. Jason Christie is leading with 31.6, which is insane. I mean, that's a giant bag. I don't care where you're at. And then, can you pull that up?
What is it?
NationalProfessionalFishingLeague.com. It's a lot to type.
Can you just do NPFL?
No, that takes you to a soccer.
How did our How did our buddy Jim, or not Jim? How did Jim is our buddy. How did our buddy Matt Herron do on that?
He not good.
No,
Yeah, not good.
it happens. I'm
He had
just,
like
just
14,
curious.
He had like 14 pounds.
I really think that the NPFL being a,
What just happened?
What just happened?
I think that you probably clicked a thing by accident. I think the NPFL being a pro league that banned forward facing is good for fishing.
Well, I think it's good for them because it separates them, right? It gives them their own thing. Hey, Tyler, what's up?
Hey, what's up, Tyler Hawthorne, our buddy with UMA Lure Company in the house. Check them out, UMA Lure Company.
The tide's going to be blown out. 25-mile-an-hour northwest wind always blows the water out of Jopstown. But it'll still be. I mean, you'll still be able to fish.
Good time to go to the pond and get stuck for a day or two.
Oh, I'm sorry. So, 3 31-pound bags. Apparently, the weigh-in wasn't done when I checked last. So there were 3 30-plus pound bags on Santee Cooper.
It's pretty cool.
If you haven't already, go to the UMA Lure Company
Hop back on that
Facebook page
So-
and give them a follow.
So we can take a look at a couple of the names here.
Some
And
serious weights.
so this is what kind of, that amazes me. Like you have like Jason Christie, like, you expect that. Patrick Walters, who is probably one of the top 5 live scopers in the world. Like he is ridiculously good with live scope. 28 pounds
With
like,
a 9.
I don't need a live scope. Now, granted, he is a little bit of a local, so like he's fished Santee a lot.
Joe, is your boy 3-year-old now? That is crazy, man. Time is flying.
Hank Cherry.
We got Hank Cherry in 8th with 26. Scroll down for me, Chad. Who else we got in here?
Buddy Gross.
Buddy Gross is up there, 24 pounds. Drew Cook.
Bill Lowen.
Bill Lowen.
16th.
Bill
Wow.
Lowen, yeah. Todd Goat's pretty cool.
I didn't even.
Caleb Kufall, that's another Elite Series pro.
JT Russell.
I have no idea who that is.
Is John Cox fishing NPFL this year?
Yeah, he did not do. He only had 2 fish today.
Really?
Yeah.
Brandon Cobb.
Hunter Bauman. So if anybody does, it's for any. I've talked about Hunter Bauman before. Hunter Bauman has 1 arm and no legs.
Wow. That's kind of crazy.
Hunter Bauman has like 1 arm and no legs.
Is that the guy that's like famous on
No.
Instagram? There's
No,
another
not
guy
that. That's
like,
Clay Dyer.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hunter Bauman is. Wait, hold on one second.
Greg Hackney, 28th place with 19 pounds.
How big was your
Sick.
boy's first yellow perch, Joe? That's really awesome.
dude,
I'm glad
it's
to hear
crazy.
that. He's gonna follow in your footsteps, bro.
Scott Canterbury. Keep going down, Chad. Gerald Swindle, 18 pounds.
G Swin.
I'm sorry. He's got 2 arms. He's only got 1 hand.
Does he have both legs?
No legs.
Was he a vet?
No, I can't remember. I can't remember what happened. I want to say that it was that he had like meningitis when he was a kid or something.
Oh man.
Something like that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no legs, 1 hand, dropping 24 pounds. Hell of
pretty
a
awesome.
fisherman. Hell of a fisherman.
Pretty awesome.
But yeah,
1.5 pound freaking yellow perch.
hell yeah.
That's giant.
Yeah, that's a massive.
That's
fresh
a
yellow perch.
massive yellow perch.
So
That's his 3-year-old son's first catch.
That's
1.5 pound yellow perch.
So
That's
Kevin-
sick.
So Kevin made a funny comment in our group text earlier, and he said, "Yeah, it's live scope that they're catching all these big bags." I don't think it's live scope. I think fishing's just gotten so much better.
Thank you.
Over the last 4 years.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree, and I think it's cool. I think that now it comes down to preferences. Is it more entertaining to watch NPFL, watch these guys old school fish?
So, okay, here. You can't make anyone happy
No,
because Brandon Palaniuk was essentially old school fishing.
Mm-hmm.
He was cranking a hard spot, and like every freaking comment after he won was, "Bet you couldn't do it without live scope." Like, oh, I don't want to watch a guy stare at a screen all day. Like he was literally just cranking.
I'm so tired of hearing about live scope.
Like you can't make anybody happy. He wins the tournament. Did he use live scope?
What's
Sure.
up, Brian Dyson?
But he even said, he's like, I used live scope to kind of locate like where the fish had moved to and stuff like that, but I wasn't casting at specific fish. I was just cranking a hard spot
Do you think
or a high spot.
Do you think in a tournament like the NPFL or in a series like the NPFL, we would ever see guys fishing the same area like we did on Okeechobee?
In the NPFL?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I'm wondering if live scope made a difference.
That's a known place.
Okay.
It's not so Tyler Williams knew, like, he tried to come into that spot, but there's already 4 people on it. Trey McKinney knew was going to go to that spot.
Right.
So but it was a community. Trey McKinney even said it on live. He's like, I'm going to go to this place. It's a community hole. And later, Ronnie Moore said, yeah, that spot that he's talking about is where Brandon Palaniuk, Greg DePalma, Timothy Dube, and Will Davis are.
Right.
So that's a known spot there. People know about it. They set up there. It's a pre-spawn spot.
Yeah.
I freaking locked Chloe in my bedroom.
Way to go. So yeah, it would still work. And he did not find those fish with live scope. He went up to that spot, threw it. He caught one fish in practice off that spot, and it was a 7-pounder, and he left. Mm-hmm. And he was talking on Mercer's podcast. He said, talking to De Palma and the other guys, they all did the same thing. Like, they came up to that spot, they caught one big one in practice and left. And he didn't have anywhere else to go.
Dustin said when flashers turn to LCD screens, people say the same thing about technology. Yeah. I want to say a huge thank you to Dustin. Dustin brought me a bag of like old classic reels at the last club meeting. It was like, I know old reels are your thing, so here you go. I've got every one of them except for one in perfect working condition, and I got the part for that one on the way. I'm telling you, dude, you could fish with these things now. Like, I took them completely apart, stripped them, cleaned the parts, and then rock and roll.
Damn, the Goat Tower Hawthorne is in the chat. Yes, he is.
Brandon.
But I appreciate it, Dustin.
Brandon.
I think that's Brandon Kale.
Nice. But yeah, hey, Dustin, I do appreciate that. It's cool, man. I know you said it's mine. That one, I think he gave me an old Daiwa. I think he said it was one of his father's old reels. Seriously, dude, if you want that thing back, I'll put it in a nice glass case for you. I'm happy to give it back to you. I know it's it might be important to you, but please, if you want it, no problem. I'll set it up nice for you. I know you said it's mine, but I wouldn't want to take something that has sentimental value to you.
So Santee's on fire. I don't know how they're catching them. I'm assuming they had a huge cold front. It was freezing down there in practice. Mm-hmm. I'm guessing, shocker, I bet Jason Christie's throwing a spinnerbait.
Sure.
Shocking.
He said they were all his, and he doesn't need it.
Cool. I'm definitely going to take a couple of them and probably set them up as like decorations for my place down in Middle River, just to like, it's kind of cool, man. But I'll tell you what, like, and this is just a total nerd moment for 30 seconds. Like those old reels, because I've pulled apart pretty much every brand of reel at some point. Those old reels are built almost the same. Like the general concept of them is the same. Mm-hmm. It's just the parts have gotten smaller.
Yeah,
and it makes a big difference. Like it really does.
They're very the design of bait casters has not really changed as far as the gearing.
Like internally, it's the concept is the same. It's just a little bit of the parts are smaller to save weight, and I think the parts are a little bit better quality now.
Well, but different materials.
Yeah, but like I mean, it's like you got your main gear and then your pinion gear. It's the same, and then the difference there's when you pull it apart, you're like, damn, this really is. It's just redesigned of the same thing.
They use more bearings now to make it run a little smoother. So
I fixed one of them with super glue, which was a huge gamble. I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work, but it's the only thing I can do, and it worked. I was like, holy shit! It was an old it was a Shimano spinning reel that had the back reel, the reverse, it wouldn't stop because the bearing was sliding in the housing because there was literally like 1/1000th of an inch of clearance because it was worn, like the housing was worn. So I literally just took my brush, hit it with super glue, and pressed it in before it could dry, let it dry for like a half hour and put it together. No more. It's got perfect anti-reverse.
Now it's got permanent anti-reverse.
Yeah, I'm like, damn.
Anti-reverse.
Because the bearing was just spinning inside of it, where usually
It's hard to
the
find
internals
reels
are
like that
supposed
that
to
have that anti-reverse thing on it, and that was one of the things. If you guys don't remember, when we had David Fritz come on the show,
Mm-hmm.
he is a big fan of throwing a reel, one of those old reels with anti-reverse for his crankbaits
That's bait casters.
Yeah.
in the bait casters. Yes.
And so spinning reels have always really had that. I mean, they've had that forever, for 40 years.
Yep.
But bait casters did not have, for a long time, immediate anti-reverse. So, like Chad was saying, David Fritz was saying, he likes that the ones that don't have the immediate anti-reverse, so it'll actually just go back. It doesn't go much. I mean, it's just like a slight.
Really quickly, can you explain for us, for people that might not understand, including myself, what exactly is anti-reverse?
So your reel handle just doesn't come backwards.
Right. So would that make the spool go backwards too?
No.
If it comes back, if you have it turned off, it will. Yeah, it's like a It's like
No, we're talking about bait casters.
Oh, sorry.
Right. And what is the benefit to them?
To having it or not
To having it.
To having anti-reverse?
Not having it.
To not having
like
anti-reverse?
Guys used to use it to
the
play
old,
fish.
Like the old reels.
No. So bait caster is a little different, Tony, because it does there is anti-reverse. It's just not instant anti-reverse, so it doesn't have an anti-reverse bearing, which gives you a little more feel. Mm-hmm. Because it's basically the anti-reverse bearing is a roller bearing.
Yes.
You usually have a bait caster laying around here, which you do not.
It's hard to describe.
Probably in a basket somewhere.
So when you take, have you ever taken the side plate off a reel, like underneath the handle?
Mm-hmm.
So when you take that side plate off, there's a roller bearing inside that side plate.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's got a bunch of rollers all the way around it. That's the anti-reverse.
Mm-hmm.
So those roller bearings only go one way.
Yep.
So that's the immediate. So the ones that David Fritz was talking about doesn't have that. So you have a more direct connection, and it gives you a little more feel.
Hi, Julie. Thank you for joining tonight. I have been doing a little bit of gym workouts. I appreciate you noticing the pump that I have going on right now.
The old school spinning reels did not have anti-reverse bearings. They were just pressed into a housing. Now, like if you have any old school spinning reels, like you could go anywhere from a quarter turn to a half a turn of the reel in anti-reverse before it would lock. So the old ones, they actually had the bearing was pressed into a housing that had a latch on it that would catch another latch that was attached to the switch, and that's why it would stop. And it would always stop in the same place. So like Dustin gave me a Shimano XT 2000, and that one, because it's old, right? The latch catches it in the 3 o'clock position all the time,
Right where your finger's supposed to be.
Yep.
For the line. Yeah.
So if you flip the bail, right, and your thing's over here, it's got to go all the way back to catch.
Yep.
Whereas if it's here, it's got to go that far to catch. Mm-hmm. And that was just a different design. I actually ordered parts for that one. That one's going to be fixed here shortly too.
You also have the no anti-reverse on spinning reels too, which allows for back reeling, which used to be a big thing.
Yeah,
I do remember some of those old reels that do that.
KVD used to be a big back reeler. Frank Scalish is a big back reeler.
If anybody has old reels that they pulled apart and they can't fix them, or it's a reel that you have a problem with and you can't fix it, let me know. I love messing with them. I mean, just we'll talk about it. If you want to send it to me, and if I can't fix it, whatever. But like I love messing with them. I fuck with people's reels all the time. I probably get like 50 reels a year that people will give me, and they're like, I can't get it to work.
100% fixed 2 or 3 of mine before.
Well, it's just it's simple. It's a simple design, and once you get comfortable,
you my freaking Corrado DC 200 before you leave.
Once you get comfortable taking them apart and getting them back together, it's easy.
I would not recommend working on the DC.
Yeah,
Why?
I'm probably gonna let Jerry do that.
I feel like even Jerry hates working on DCs.
So certain reels are definitely over-engineered.
Me too, Dustin.
Yeah, certain reels are over-engineered. The 13 fishing reel, way over-engineered. No reason for it at all. Oh, like I'm curious to take apart some of these new Daiwas that have that zero braking system and see what that looks like.
I have a 13 that I'll essentially give to you, and if you can fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was on it's an 8-to-1. It was on my punching rod.
Okay.
And it the spool slips like almost like the the buttons engaged, every now and then.
Okay.
It's weird. And like the button is not down. Like it just like the
I know.
spool
Okay.
will come out.
It's got. Have you ever pulled it apart?
No.
Okay.
It was cheap.
How long have you had it?
I don't know, probably 5 years.
It's probably okay. So I almost guarantee you what it is the old grease is so gooped up that it's keeping it from going all the way.
Well, it does it randomly.
Yep. That's usually what happens.
Which is kind of
Look
weird.
at how happy.
Yep. So 90% of the time, if you have a reel that, because I had ardent reels that the anti-reverse wouldn't click in, it would have to go back a whole turn and then it would click, which is super weird. And I would clean them and they would work every time. It's the grease gets full of garbage and it actually keeps
like,
the gears from grabbing.
It's not like like that. I mean, if you look at the reel, I've used it so little that it's like it looks almost brand new.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll mess with it.
A Cast King flip and pitch switch on Mega Jaws. We don't have any experience with Cast King, but what is
I have a couple Cast
So the
Kings.
flip and pitch switch,
Old school.
Quantum was kind of the last. They were really like the last people that kept that switch.
Daiwa did it too.
It essentially allows you to, all you have to do is let your thumb off the button. You don't have to turn the reel handle for the reel to engage, the spool to engage.
Yep.
So your button will just go down and up, down and up, down and up. So
It's pretty cool, actually.
thought being, like, if you're pitching, because when that was a big thing, most reels were right-handed. Yep. So people would have to switch. So when you pitch in, you can just let your thumb off the button, your spool's engaged, and you can set the hook if you get a bite.
Yep. Most of the reels that Dustin gave me have that on there, which, believe it or not, it's actually just all it is a switch and a spring, and it attaches to the button, and it creates tension when the switch is on and when the switch is off. It's neutral tension. You don't have to worry about it. Pretty cool concept. I mean, I kind of don't know why that went away.
Well, because left-handed reels kind of made it obsolete because most of the people who would switch hands switched to that.
I guess I could see that. I mean, I guess the concept. I like the concept of it. Is like, but the thing of it is like if you're making a long, because back in those days, flipping and pitching was a lot closer than what we do now too. So it's nice to be able to click your bail, completely thumb it. Where when you use the flip and switch, you have to hold that button down. Whereas
you can still thumb it.
Yeah, but you still have to hold the button down.
Right. You just got to. So I used to use one all the time. So basically, you just put the button on like this part of your thumb, and then this part of your thumb on the spool. Like it's not hard.
No, it's not. I think it's cool.
The worst part about it though is when you it's funny you said you're if you're making a long, hey Rob, what's up? If you're making trying to make like a long pitch and you go and like as you pitch it out real hard, your thumb comes off and then your weight comes back and hits you in the face. Ask me how I know how that happens.
Yep. Yep.
And it comes in a circle, so it'll just go.
Oh yeah. I definitely have a video.
I've done that quite a few times.
I have a video of me flipping docks and my bail closed by accident, and it actually took the rod out of my hand. I went to flip, and it just like did the whole thing, and my rod, like the rod butt, ended up like almost hitting me in the face.
I'm gonna need that video.
Yeah, I'm gonna find it right now.
So I wish I don't have this on video, but I wish I did. So I'm
gonna send it to your Facebook.
I was fishing with Ron one day. We were in his boat, and I was on the front of his boat. I was skipping docks up in the Northeast, up in like the second. I think it was in the second cut. Second cut or the first cut? Second cut.
All the homies love the second cut.
And so I skipped my jig up under this dock, and it's like against the bank. It's like a wide dock up against the bank, and my jig gets hung on a piling like up underneath the dock. And like I'm like it's like right against the seawall, and I'm like, oh, I can't get that. So like I reel down. I'm like, I'm just gonna break it off. The hook bends, and this jig comes out from under this dock at about Mach 3 and hits me right in the nuts.
Nice.
Ron is on the back deck of his boat rolling.
I can just see Ron dying on the back
not only
of the boat, too.
so, hold on, let me take that back. It didn't hit me in the nuts. It hit me right in the tip of the dick.
It's worse.
Is it Rob or Ron?
No, not our money dock. It was it was a little farther back on the left. Like, not too much farther back, but no, me and Rob's money doc is Rob, same cut. Rob said, we got 10 minutes left in this tournament. Rob goes, I haven't seen anybody go into the cut. Let's go fish that dock real quick. And we pull over to that dock. And he makes one cast and catches a 6-pounder.
I just sent you that video, Chad, on your Facebook. It's pretty funny. I'm pretty sure I was commenting on like, you motherfucker. Like, I was probably just raging.
And then that 6-pounder, with that 6-pounder, we won that tournament. So it was pretty badass. And if we hadn't caught that 6-pounder, we wouldn't even cash a check. So that one fish was the difference between us winning the tournament and cashing a check.
What's up, Adam?
I mean, it was like a 3-pound call.
I did. It might not have sent yet because I don't have the best service here. Oh, it's still sending. That's why.
Gotcha.
It's almost sent.
That was the closest I've ever came to catching a 7 on the Upper Bay.
Really?
I've never caught a 7 on the Upper
I haven't
Bay.
either. I've caught a handful of 6s.
I caught a 692 that day.
That's pretty cool.
Out of tidings.
Nice, dude. I have like
90% short.
spots.
90% short. It was the big one that Jedry caught when he caught that big bag in the Outcast tournament.
I could see that
Because it was like the next weekend.
It's still sending, Chad. I'll let you know when it goes through.
All good.
It's pretty funny.
What did Jedry have? Like 26 pounds that
Gotta
day.
get
or
you
something?
connected to the Wi-Fi.
You know what? It's because I have the Wi-Fi turned on. I don't know why I'm not connected to it. It's kind of weird.
Yes, where I didn't want to go. So that was the other thing. So Rob made 2 calls that day. Like, we were coming from Swan Creek, we were going to the ABC docks, and he's like, "Let's stop and fish let's stop and fish tidings." So on the way through,
That's awesome, Roman. Good for you.
stop in tidings. I catch a 7-pounder. I'm like, all right. So we go to the sea dock, and we catch. Rob catches a good one up there. And I said, okay, we're going to the northeast. I got some stuff over there. We go over there. We call out a few times, and we got a good bag. We had 19 pounds. And then Rob makes his second call today. Oh, let's go here. Rob catches a 6-pounder. Moral of the story: always listen to Rob Steiner when he tells you to go somewhere.
Well,
Right.
Rob's a hammer, so I believe I believe in the faith. I believe in the faith.
Is this your thing?
Yeah. Let me see if I can get it right.
Yeah. Brandon said he netted Jedry's fish that day. He thinks it was 27.
Yeah, it was a big bag.
It was a giant bag.
It was a major bag alert. Yeah, that was crazy. I remember that day because I fished a FLW college tournament that I blanked in on Smith Mountain Lake, and as I'm driving home from the river from the lake with my feelings hurt, the Team Outcast Club's going off. John Jedry with 26 pounds. I was like, motherfucker, god damn it, dude! I didn't catch a fish all day.
Nobody
I was
else caught fish that
so
day either.
mad.
If I remember right.
Did it work?
No, I'm trying to remember the password off the top of my head, and I cannot.
It'll send eventually.
Yeah, anytime Rob tells me to go somewhere, I listen to him now. That's just the summer solstice this year.
Mm-hmm.
Rob's like, "Are we going to the flats?" And I was like, "I guess so."
Right? Why not?
So we go onto the flats. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, I haven't been up here. I haven't been up here in a month. Where are we going? Just go out of here. Sure enough, we ended up. We ended up
That's all good.
fourth. We ended up fourth with the bites to probably be second. We each missed a fucking giant. Rob is good peeps.
I'll let you know when that sends. It's still
Hey, it was
working through it.
It was still a good call, man. I mean, the ride sucked, but we had the bites to be second. I mean, we weren't gonna be victor, but
Right.
we had the bites to be second. Yeah, it hurt.
So let's talk about reverse on
running 4-footers on the way back.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun. Let's talk about
It's
reverse
so
on
many
trolling
screws
motors for a
coming out of my
second.
boat.
Reverse on trolling motors. Is it important? I don't think it is, but that's
Okay.
just my opinion.
I also don't think it's important. Here's why. I've spent a lot of time in Frank's boat. Frank has power pole move, which has reverse.
Mm-hmm.
We have literally never used reverse.
How do you? Is there like a separate button, like on the side of the pedal or something, or like how do you do it?
I can't remember.
Okay. Like, is it? What I'm asking is it set up in a way where you're like gonna accidentally touch it?
Probably.
You know what I mean?
I mean, for it to be useful, it would have to be.
And that's we've got the video of me screwing up. This is a video of when my bail closed by accident. Make sure you turn the volume all the way up.
Did you hit yourself in the face?
Damn near. I missed the fish too, which really pissed me off. And then I went to flip again. And
I know
fucked it
exactly
up.
where that's at.
Yep.
I balled you up.
Yep, motherfucker. So I go to pitch back in.
So Jason,
like,
Jason says reverse on a trolling motor is stupid. Now if you're
on a
doing
bow mount, I feel like it's pointless.
so the usefulness
I
of
kinda
it
agree.
is live scope. If you're out scoping, it's useful. Because if you're looking for fish,
You don't have to swivel it all
you don't
the way
have to
back
swivel it all the way
and
around.
lose
You
the
don't
spool.
lose your picture,
Right.
right? So I can see it being that's why the crappy brakes were a big thing for the scopers.
Now,
before
if
they
you
got
go
banned.
in reverse while it's facing the same direction, does it churning up the water like right in front of the scope like mess with?
That's a good question. Probably not. I mean, you'll probably see a little bit of it, but
Right.
I've never seen it from I turn my trolling motor backward. I mean, I look behind the boat all the time with live scope, and I've never seen interference from my trolling motor like that. I mean, you can see like when a boat runs through, you can see that, but
Jim says the power brakes on the back are great.
yeah, and that's mostly that's for there's some uses,
That was
but
outlawed, wasn't it?
Bass Bandit, yeah.
Bass Bandit, yeah.
But that was big with forward-facing sonar because if you're going full steam, you can hit your power brakes, it reverses the boat and almost instantly stops you. Versus having to turn the trolling motor around. Same idea with reverse on the front. You can stop yourself.
I do kind of like those setups.
You're gay,
where
Rob.
You don't have it mounted on the trolling motor. You kind of either move it with your hand, and they have automated systems for it as well.
So here's the problem with that. Frank had one of those. I've used one of those. So
With the hand or
foot pedal has
Okay.
had foot buttons. One, they don't turn fast enough to really be useful in scoping, because if it doesn't turn faster than a fish can move, it's like you lose the fish.
You're losing
Like it
them.
can't keep up with the fish that's moving to the side. Second, you know how freaking hard it is. Like it's next to impossible
to like use
to
your
control
trolling
that
motor
and your trolling motor at
and-
the same
yeah,
time.
Right.
Same thing with the hand controlled ones. Like you can't work your rod and move it at the same time. So, a lot of times, like especially if you're in the wind, your boat's blowing around, like you can't work that hand controlled one and still fish this fish that's out here. Where if you have it on your trolling motor, it's right there. Now, Humminbird had the best idea. Humminbird Mink.
Make the target lock.
The target lock was the
Yeah.
best idea because you could set it where you could move it independently. Back Channel City. I'm going to the Potomac on Sunday. Whee!
That's what you're going to be saying going over 4-footers.
So with the target lock, you could, with the press of a button, it would move with your trolling motor, which was cool. So it would, whatever way your trolling motor's panning, it would pan too. Or you could hit a button and you could control it with the foot pedal. So you could control your live scope independent, or you could control it with the trolling motor. That was really cool.
Oh, you know what? This is not a topic that we talked about, that we jotted down, but
What's up, Jeff?
I bought a defunct Helix unit, and I want to talk about a little bit about my customer
You
service
did.
experience.
You bought a shitty Helix unit.
So, yes. So when we talked about it,
Did you talk to Humminbird?
Yep, I sent it back in, and I'll get to that in a second. So, we talked about when we found out that the Humminbird Helix and the Solix were going away. We had a show about it.
We
It was
did.
one of our better shows, actually.
It was a great show.
And we talked through it. We had a little bit. We had some folks that are really in the know that gave us some stuff. Josh,
You don't like pinging a minner.
Josh, we call it
love
hanging a
pinging a
mini.
minnow.
It's hanging a mini. That's what we call it here. All right. If you don't hang a mini, you're probably a Democrat. Okay. Other people
I love-
pig a minner,
I ain't
but
gonna lie,
here
I
we
love
hang
pinging
a
a
mini.
minnow.
I do love hanging a mini. But anyway, so I bought this Helix.
I ping a Minna.
Ping a minute. Oh,
Ping a
wow.
minute.
That's kind of like Peter Piper picked a pack of minis.
Ping a Minna.
I don't know.
Peter Piper picked a pack of pickled pepper.
Yeah, something like that. So anyway, so I bought this Helix 12 from Bass Pro online store.
I wish I could, Rob. That's off limits now.
It was a ridiculous deal because obviously the Helixes were going away. So I got it, did all the stuff. I hooked it up. The unit works. 90% of it works great. The problem is it doesn't network. No matter what I've tried, I've did all the updates. I've done everything that I'm supposed to do. It does not network. I called Humminbird on Monday. I was on hold for maybe 30 seconds. Lady answers the phone, and I said, "Ma'am, let me go through what I've done so far." I said, "Yes,
Everything.
It's updated. I moved the units around the boat. Everything networks. The Ultrex is connected. The 10s are connected. The 12 doesn't connect no matter what." She said, "Okay, here's a shipping label. Go ahead, send it to us. It's already on the way back. Brand new unit."
Humminbird customer service is freaking awesome.
It was, I mean, super. I was on that phone call for 5 minutes and had a new Helix 12 on the way.
Are you talking? You're talking about the one in? Okay, I was talking about the Navy Pier in Pohick.
Is Humminbird and Minn Kota like
Same parent
it's
company.
the same parent company?
Johnson Outdoors.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Which honestly, so and like here's my thing, right? So like we've talked about it on the show a
bought
number of
Dobbins?
times.
Who owns what?
Who bought Dobbins?
GSM.
Yeah.
Okay, it wasn't. Okay. For
So-
some reason, I thought it might have been Johnson Outdoors.
Oh my god, dude, it's funny you say that because
somebody bought GSM too. So
I just bought
It's just getting deeper.
I just bought 2 Dobbins rods, and I was going through I go through my bank statements religiously every month to make sure my shit's not being stolen. And I saw a charge for like $250 for something I did not recognize, and I did a total rabbit hole dive to find out it's like the ultimate parent company of Dobbins. And I was like, God damn it, dude! I just wasted an hour of my time.
you know that they have an app for that, right?
I know, but I'm not that
After
smart.
what?
Your bank account.
Well, that's what I'm doing. I was literally, but all it shows you is the charge.
I check
of
my bank account like daily.
the company. Right. Oh, I check mine all the time, and I was like, "Who the fuck charged me
Trust me,
$250?"
I know if something comes out of my bank account that's not supposed to. That's my
don't.
fishing fund.
But
Your fishing fund is freaking endless.
Yeah.
so we talked about it on the show numerous times. Power Pole is incredible customer service, and they are incredible customer service. I feel like Minn Kota doesn't get the. I feel like they don't get the credit.
Of the electronics companies, they are the best customer service. Well,
Garmin's good too. Lowrance is just not.
Garmin's
that great.
very good. Lowrance sucks.
Yeah.
Their customer service is terrible. Garmin, I've had to call Garmin customer service one time. They were fantastic. I have no complaints about them. But I've done a lot of. I've run Humminbirds for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I've run Minn Kota for a long time. Every time I called them, it's been fantastic every time.
Yep. I really think I'm curious if you're out there listening. Have you ever had to call Minn Kota for your talons? I'm just curious because we know Power Pole is awesome customer service.
Yeah,
I think the Minn Kota is very. I think it's comparable. I really do.
I don't know. Power Pole is pretty awesome.
Well, yeah, but what if you don't have to call them? You know what I mean? Like
To answer Rob's question, yes, Gary sold Dobbins last summer.
yes, I got 2 of them sitting in the back of my truck still in the rod tube. Sam Sobey series, never heard of them. Upgraded Caden. It's like a random thing they did for a year. They're trying to sell them off the website. They were like 40% off, but it's literally a Caden with better components. Now there's not a lot of options in length and weight, but it works.
I've had to call Minn Kota for my Tarovo on the John Boat before.
What was your experience?
Great experience, right?
It was a fantastic experience. Like I called them.
Because your pedal, right?
My pedal went bad on my Tarova. So I called them, and it was actually like right on the cusp of being out of warranty. Mm-hmm. And they just sent me a brand new pedal.
Yeah.
It was like really no question.
It was like just out of warranty, wasn't it? If I remember right.
Yeah, I'm pretty
like,
sure.
It was like a month
just
out, like a month out of warranty.
Yeah, and they just sent me a brand new pedal, no questions asked.
Yeah.
So now because the pedal is on a plug, every single winter I just bring in the pedal inside.
Oh,
leave it inside.
You know what is another one? So Z decals. So you guys, I got the decals to cover my red,
I like Z decals.
my red fucking Raptors, right?
Yeah.
When you should have just added some kind of red sticker on your fucking boat.
Probably.
Would've been way easier.
So I got
I don't think it looks that bad.
I got
Well, you
light.
can still see the red though.
A little bit, but it doesn't look that bad. You could still
Yeah.
add a red sticker and
Yeah. So I ordered medium gray, and it came.
It's very light gray.
Maybe it's medium
It is
gray.
light.
It looks a lot lighter on the website. So when they wrote, they send you an email that said, "Hey, review our product." I reviewed it. I sent them a picture. I said the product's great. The color's not what it looked like on the website. I didn't ask for anything. Didn't ask for a fucking thing. I got a phone call that day. Hey, this is whoever from Z Decals. Can you tell me a little bit about your review? I said, oh, sure. Yep. I ordered these. They're a lot lighter in person than they are on the website. The product's great. The installation kit's really good. Doesn't look like it did on the website. Send me a picture of your boat. Here you go. Right shipping address? Yep. Okay, we got a new set coming to you.
they sent you the darker colored set.
Yeah. I didn't ask for nothing.
Really?
I did not call them. I
so
left
sick.
a
That's
review
really tough.
as for
So
their
here-
automated email,
So
and they sent me a new
will
one.
get my
So,
business.
so think about it though. They're charging $180 for these set of decals.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's literally just a vinyl decal.
It's
Their profit margin is probably through the roof on
yes,
I'm
but
sure,
but
but-
what about the machinery that they had to source to print that in the margin of error and we're talking thousands of
They
inches
didn't
to get
have
that
to
right.
do that.
Well, they're CNCing that.
Sure, but they still have to source that stuff. It's not
Right,
cheap.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
their profit margin in them is still extremely high.
Oh yeah.
So
but
if they can send you another $10 in material,
Hey, what's up, Ken? Thanks for joining, brother.
just throwing that number out there,
Right.
to have a good customer experience, they're not losing that much money.
Right. And again, I didn't ask them to do that. I just left them a review. And again, I said, it's a great product. It just doesn't. My whole gripe, which wasn't even a gripe, is it doesn't look like it did on the website. And they literally just sent me a new pair. I got them in the truck. I'm going to put them on tomorrow.
I was gonna say, are you gonna take the old ones off and put the new ones on?
Putting them on is a pain in the ass. I won't lie. But it's just to try
Taylor
to get
did
it
a good job.
to try to get it right. It's just
Did you use a heat gun?
no. It comes with a little install kit.
I did
Do that
see.
with a heat gun.
No, it's an install kit. It has like a little thing where it has instructions and everything. And
Chad,
I bet you'll do it better now that it's your second time.
I would think so.
that's a you question.
Who makes an 8-inch plastic swim bait with a recessed single EWG?
Huddleston.
Does Megabass make like a big dark
Megabass
sleeper?
makes Megabass Freestyle makes an 8-inch bait.
Yeah, you could
that
do
has
that.
a recess.
They have an 8-inch freestyle.
Yeah, they do have an
The
8-inch
Megabass.
freestyle. You can also do working class 0 has a 7-inch bait that's completely recessed. They might probably have even a 9-inch that has the recessed on it.
Good luck getting those though. They're a pain in the ass.
They're not that hard to get. Not anymore.
No.
They had a lot of hype. It's kind of come down now. You can definitely get working class 0 stuff pretty easier now.
Is that the Citizens?
Those are the Citizens, yes, sir. And the Citizens are fantastic baits. They're fantastic baits. So you can do Megabass, you can do working class 0, Dream Catchers, or Dreams, not Dream Catchers, Dream Smashers. Dream Catchers, you should still look them up. Good company. Dream Smashers has a bait, and they have one of those vortex, like a boot tail style almost. It's not a vortex like a Huddleston.
Kind of like a Defiant.
Yes.
More like that.
Yes, like a Defiant, exactly.
Look at
There's
me.
a couple of them out there. Ooh, Optimum Baits. Optimum Baits.
Oh, the
Boom
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 Boom?
Swimmer makes a fantastic.
The old Freddie Rumbanis.
Yeah, they make
The
great.
Boom
baits.
Boom. The Boom Boom's on Tackle Warehouse for sure.
Yeah, check out the Boom Boom from
it's,
Optimum Baits.
Optimum.
That's a great bait.
The Magdraft Freestyle, the Megabass Magdraft Freestyle is on Tackle Warehouse too.
Yep.
You can possibly get it from SFT. I don't know if they have the 8-inch freestyle though.
Working Class 0, obviously there's the workingclass0.com. You can find Working Class 0 baits on like Swim Bait Universe or Swim Bait.
Or their website.
The website has shipping though, which sucks. I don't pay for shipping on these freaking soft plastic baits because they're too expensive as it is. But you can go to like Swim Bait Worldwide, Swim Bait Universe, a couple of those. There's a lot of guys that'll sell soft plastics on there still in the package, and you can get them for about the same price with not paying the shipping. or paying the shipping for the same price. And
So you can get an 8-inch.
check out the Working Class Zero, Rob. If you can get yourself a Working Class Zero 7-inch, they're phenomenal baits. Absolutely love them.
You can get an 8-inch boom boom on Tackle Warehouse for $13, which you can get about 5 of those for the cost of 2 Citizens.
I really like the Citizens, though. I'm a big fan.
Depends
of
on
the Citizens.
Depends on what he's throwing
coming
it
from
for
a
too.
guy who's really taken the time to break down some of the soft plastics for big swim baits. I really like the Citizen. It just has a good profile for the area. But dude, the Boom Boom it's a phenomenal bait. I've caught a lot of fish on the Boom Booms too.
Yeah. Old
And
Freddie,
then obviously-
Freddie Rumbanis beat.
Obviously, the Mag Draft Freestyle from Megabass is
What's the Osprey
Top
also?
notch.
Osprey makes one too.
Osprey makes one. You can get Rago,
Rago, Jerry Rago.
whatever it is. Yeah, Jerry Rago.
Yeah, there's a couple of them on there.
And there's people coming out with them all the time. Honestly, freaking, why am I brain farting on it? Kayatek makes a freaking 8-inch. Kayatek makes an 8-inch soft plastic that takes an EWG. You run an 8 or a 10 on it. Yep, I have some in the boat actually. Or they're actually downstairs. I've never used them though, but they do have them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of good stuff out there.
I've caught a lot of fish off one Working Class Zero. I will say they are a little bit softer, but I think their hookup ratio is very good.
I mean, Jim's probably catching like 12-pounders on them, so.
That too. That too. Hey, thanks for the like, Kimberly. Thank you.
So, yeah.
What else were
We
we
kind of already talked about big crankbaits a little bit.
Did we?
Big.
We talked about them a little bit.
Did we
when
talk
were
about the
Kentucky
Mega
Lake.
Bass Big M that Brandon Polinick was freaking smoking?
So no,
on?
we did not. We
Not
did not
that
talk about the
specific
Mega
one,
Bass.
no.
And I know
So
you have
let's
a
go to
giant boner for Mega Bass. So
I have a massive burner for Dago Bass.
Right.
So
I can't type.
we wanted to talk about big crankbaits a little bit because Brandon Polinick just won on Okeechobee, catching a lot of his bigger fish on the Mega Bass Big M 4.0.
The motherfuckers are probably sold out.
That is
They are very close to being sold out.
They're sold out on Tackle Warehouse.
Gotta be,
They were
dude.
sold out 30 minutes after they showed that bait
Can
online.
somebody explain to me how I type in Tackle Warehouse and Tackle Warehouse does not show up whatsoever?
Because
on this?
Yahoo sucks.
I have it set on Chrome. I don't understand it.
Look, it's your
Search.
default search. Your default search is Yahoo. You have to change it in your settings. But anyway, the ads related to Tackle Warehouse. There you go.
That's fucking crazy.
It shows you all the ads.
Dude,
First.
the internet is retarded.
So
Well, we're banned.
so
Now you're on Cabela's.
that is a 5-inch
What is happening?
That is a 5-inch 2-ounce crankbait. That is a giant bait.
It's large.
And it's not one of the. They also have a 2.0 and a 7.0, if I remember.
Does it have a tight wobble with that body style?
Oh, look, this item is back ordered
And available whenever.
Click
in
the
this
drop down.
specific color.
Yeah, all of them. See the red outline on the picture?
All of them.
Holy shit.
I wonder.
So,
I wonder
it's
if
cool,
that's
though.
literally because of Brandon
It
Polinick.
is.
I'm sure it is.
So they.
Yeah, it's got to be. 100%.
I saw somebody post on the Bassmaster Facebook
That's a sick color though with that Eastern
that
Shore.
they were so. He bought one in the morning and went back 30 minutes later, and everyone was sold out within like 30 minutes of them showing it on live.
Mm-hmm.
After he just got a 9-pounder on it.
So let's go to the overview. This is developed by legendary Japanese lure Yuki.
Ito.
Whatever. Can't
I like how
pronounce
you
that.
can say the hard part, but not the easy part.
Yuki Ito Shinji Sato.
Shinji Sato.
The Mega Bass Big M4 crankbait is a magnum-sized crankbait that is created to better adapt to big bass. Featuring the flat side, the Mega Bass Big M 4.0 crankbait generates a side-to-side rolling type action which digs into the bottom more efficiently than standard wobbling type crankbaits. It produces a vivid flash that is more clear in deep water where there is less light. The Mega Bass Big M 4.0 crankbait is a unique shape, slender bill design, creates less resistance, making it easier to reel with more sensitive when it comes into contact with structure as well. Look at it. That's a 5-inch crankbait at 2 ounces.
That's a monster.
That's monster.
You're not throwing that on like a normal crankbait rod.
No.
Like, you got to have a big.
Brandon
like,
Palaniuk
You're
was
throwing that on like a swim bait rod
Nope.
with a moderate.
No,
action.
no.
Brandon Palaniuk was throwing it on a regular crankbait rod.
How did he cast it?
Don't ask me, but
How
his
did
sponsor, Alpha Angler, literally put the rods that he used in that tournament.
No shit.
That's crazy
their
to
website.
me. And then here's all the colors.
Dude, how do
right
you
here.
fucking throw that?
Look at how great these
His
colors
rod-
are, though. I love a lot of the Mega Bass.
So he
paint.
was throwing it on a medium heavy crankbait rod that was rated to 1.25 ounces.
Secret Gill,
That's crazy, dude.
Wagon,
I mean, cool. but,
Hasu, Ghost
He was so
AYU, the GP Pro Perch.
Gunpowder
Scroll
Pro
up.
Perch.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's meant for the gunpowder.
Yeah. Oh, you can if you can't fish it anywhere else. It's
I'm
actually it's illegal, so don't do it.
Is that is that all the colors? Up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see the color that he was throwing. I think it
Was it the PM strike chart?
might have been the PM strike chart.
I thought it had a little bit more blue.
No,
in
it was that one.
It was that one.
Yeah,
okay.
for sure. So that's
It's a good color. It's like it's as basic as it gets.
But
That would get hammered. Well, I don't know
He
if it would
gave-
get hammered with the size of
some of the other guys that were fishing there, he gave one to Will Davis, he gave one to Greg DePalma that were different colors than this, and they caught fish on those baits.
Rob has wow. That's a great comment. Don't laugh. Back in the reservoir days, used to sandbelt the bills down on my DD22s, tune them for a good 5 to 8 depth. Was that when Berkeley stopped making the dredger? Remember that? The dredger 22.5?
Yeah.
They stopped making it. So I know a guy who wrote to Berkeley and said, I want 100 of these baits. And they're like, we don't make them anymore. He's like, no, you don't understand. I want 100 of them. How much does it cost? And they're like, what do you mean? He said, let me, how much does it cost for you to send me 100 of these baits?
For you to fire up the molds.
Yeah. And they gave him an offer that was ridiculous. He's like, okay. And they were like, okay. So there's some guy like somewhere that has like 75 Berkeley Dredger 22
Wasn't
and a
even
half.
that good of a crankbait.
It was on the reservoirs. That was a
loved them.
hammer on the
Somebody
reservoirs,
loved
dude.
them. Let me get a beer.
Here's the thing, and I think this goes with all baits, is a bait is as good as you have confidence in.
Do you think he could have won that tournament on another big crankbait? Or was it that bait at that time?
So
I think he could have won it on a similar bait,
well,
personally.
the thing is,
Who else makes a crankbait like that?
there's a lot of people that make big ass.
Dude, there's
crankbaits.
I know
some
that,
giant
but
Strike King
who else is out
square bills.
But
Giants.
they don't run the same as those either. So
true.
that bait runs 11 to 13 feet.
Oh, it does.
Yeah.
Even with the short bill?
Yeah.
No shit.
11 to 13 feet.
That wasn't even. So they do have a shallower diver, and they also have a.
Wait a
deeper
minute.
one
How
as
does it
well.
do that? With that bill looks like a
Because you have to remember that bill is giant. That's a
it's-
5-inch
So look,
bait.
they have the 2.0, the 4.0, and the 7.5, and that 7.5 goes down to freaking 25 feet.
Yeah.
That's a massive diving crate, and that's two.
That's like a 10XD though. I mean, you know,
this thing is 2 1/8 ounces.
I would love to hold that
So-
bait next to a 10XD and see what
The
it
other
is.
thing too is you got to remember he was also catching them on a traditional crankbait. He wasn't
Yeah.
just catching them on that. The first 9-pounder he caught in that 34-pound bag was on a traditional deep diving crankbait. So it wasn't like he caught all of his fish on that.
Yeah, just
he
that
had a couple.
specific- yeah.
He had 2 key
He
bites.
says, Dustin says the gunpowder one better glow in the dark for the mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You're not lying, dude.
So as much water as that thing moves, they don't have to see it. So on day 2 when he caught 34 pounds, he caught 2 fish on that. Now they happen to be a 9 and a 7.5, but his first 9 came on a prototype microbass crankbait that looks oddly similar to a DT10. Just throwing that out there.
I just secured a guest.
It looked more like a DT10 or a DT14.
The
The
prototype?
prototype, yeah.
I don't-
It was the body shape was very similar to
So
a
that's
Rapala.
one thing that we're definitely going to move over to in one of our conversations tonight is talking about the differences in the JDM market and the American market. And the JDM market has very different body types, in my opinion, than the American market.
Well, this one is
It could be somewhat similar, but I'm
it
sure
is
I'm
very,
sure
very,
if you
very
get one
similar.
in your hand, it will be different.
so.
Let me show you.
But here's the thing.
Real quick. I'm sorry. I
Brandon-
hate to interrupt. I'm going to show you guys a video. You guys aren't going to see it, but they are. This is our next guest. You've seen this video.
Well, that looks like
Oh
fun.
yeah. Did you talk to him?
Dude,
Okay,
I know
cool.
him personally.
I follow him.
Sweet. So
He's only got 100,000
Here's-
followers.
Yeah.
here's
Like,
the
right?
Here's the thing.
He's local.
I know. Cool, right?
Palanick used to be with Rapala. Now he comes up with a prototype crankbait that's shaped like a DT10, DT14.
Can we go back to that?
I don't see Megabass playing games.
can we go back to that?
I don't know. Possibly.
If they need something, if they have an angler that says you need this in your
There
arsenal,
is no repel.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying they're copying.
I don't
it,
see that.
but if they're making a similar bait,
I don't even see the similarities, personally.
it's not that. That's not the prototype.
Oh, okay.
I don't do the prototype had a bill that was like, so it was nose down, but the bill was almost like facing up.
No, it was a straight
like,
bill.
Was it the same?
it did
Was it the
not-
same body style though?
It did not look like this deeper diver. Like the angle.
First
the
of
bill
all,
was
why would you make a
completely-
prototype of a DT14?
Yeah, it looks like a
'Cause it
DT.
sucks.
Yeah, it looks like a Rapala.
I don't think a DT14 is
Look
that
up
great.
a Rapala, the Rapala DT,
Who still throws those? Oh, okay.
all the time. It's my favorite crankbait.
Did not look like a Rapala DT. It did not.
I don't think the DT
Wasn't even close
Wait
to
a minute.
that.
Wait a minute. The DT6 through the 10 are money. The DT10 and over are like yeah,
maybe
they're
I
good.
see a couple similarities. I
Where?
do see a couple similarities.
Where
not
do you
the
see
bill
it?
angle though.
On the 14, I see it. On the 20, I don't. On the 10, I don't. On the 16, I don't.
On what?
It's just I think it's more of the teardrop shape that I kind of see, but it's
Look.
not. It's same, but it's different.
I don't. I'm telling you right now, I own a ton of Rapala crankbaits.
But
There's
the-
not
the
a better
bill
crank.
angle is definitely different.
If it says Spro on it, it's better than Rapala, unless it's a DT6.
Different, totally different crankbaits.
Yes, you're not. I don't disagree with that. I don't see that crankbait that he's throwing does not look like a Rapala DT. That one that you just put on the screen does. I wasn't even looking at that.
That's
one.
the
Let me see
prototype.
that.
That's the prototype.
Did he catch him on that in the tournament?
He caught a 9-pounder
He
on
was
that.
posting
Let me see.
the
Can I see that?
prototype on here.
Can I hold that? Okay, hold on.
Oh, he didn't post any of that shit on.
Oh yeah, I see
his
that.
bait. That's on from Bassmaster.com. That's the one he caught the first 9-pounder on.
I see. Yeah, that one I see it for sure, 100%.
Why hasn't he been?
I'm
posting
sorry.
that?
I thought we were talking about the other one. That's on me.
He
That's
posts
my
most
bad.
of his stuff on YouTube. That's where the money is. But
Yeah.
that's the prototype that he was.
I was totally misguided. I thought we were talking about the bait that we just showed you guys.
I mean, that's him. That's the exact bait that he was throwing.
That's a Rapala. That you know what that is? That's a DT with rattles and it's plastic. It's not balsa. That's what that is. That's all it is. Because the DTs now they do have a rattle in DT, right? Do they even still make those? They still make the rattle in DT?
There's subtle differences,
yeah.
but yes.
Yeah,
There's subtle
I'm not saying
differences,
it's an
but
exact
yes.
copy. I'm
Yeah,
just
yeah,
saying
yeah.
it's in. It's
I do
in
see
that
it now
range.
looking at it compared to. I do see the bill
Yeah.
in that. Yeah, you're
So,
right.
Did he? Well, now
honestly, hold on. I need to go back for a second. So you said anything over a DT6 sucks.
no. The DT6 to the 10 is money. The 12 to the 6 to the 12 to the 20 is like
Dude, they're awesome.
there's better options.
Murphy.
I think there's better options.
Depends on what you're
Murphy
trying to
says
do,
the
too.
Ozark Trail crankbaits
because
are
they
money.
have
Murphy's banned.
the
Ban
stuff-
him.
the
Kick
stuff
him
that
out.
you-
This is freaking band.
so the stuff that you throw that goes 12 to 14 feet is a lot smaller profile.
That's true. It's
So
money though.
You have to look at what you're throwing, right? It's not like apples to oranges. It's not like, oh, well, this crankbait is better than this crankbait because this is a DT14 and this is a Straking 5XD.
I don't have a lot of confidence in the DTs. The 6 is legit. I mean, the 6 is legendary. We all know that.
I have caught so many fish on a DT14 on Conowingo.
I just don't throw it. I can't tell you how many times I've been fishing up there and I'm throwing my rock crawler
Bigs,
and
too.
beating the shit out of them, and the guy on the back of my boat's throwing a DT, and it's like, hey
He's
man,
on a budget. He's
you want a
got
rock
five
crawler?
kids.
Like
Yeah.
I'm catching them.
I know what you do, Murphy.
Murphy just bought a boat, so he must not be on that big of a
sweet.
budget. You didn't know that Murphy bought a
Looks like we
boat?
have another yeah.
Oh,
He said it. He said he's on a budget. I have 5 kids. I didn't say
That's
anything about a boat.
crazy. I know. Murphy has a nice boat though. Another cool trick: Carolina rig with a -1 and 30 feet of water. Wow. I mean, I believe it. Why wouldn't it work?
That's interesting.
So that's an old walleye trick, actually. Guys used to do that with the original Rapala minnow for walleye back in the day. With a 3-way rig.
Trolling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jim says Rapala uses too small of hooks.
That's the best thing about hooks. They can be changed.
I gotta say, yeah. When we're talking about JDM, we go here. We're talking about like Megabass. If I love everything about Megabass except the freaking hooks that they put on their shit.
Matt asks, y'all know what's going on with Guggen? They're Guggins.
So I kind of saw something the other day, and I thought that something might be up with Guggen, but couldn't actually dig anything up. What did we
I watched
see?
the whole. I watched the whole video.
Did we just see that somebody dropped?
And
him as a sponsor,
he was part of Guggen squad. Like he was inducted into their squad, and he left Guggen squad. But yeah, they're a bunch of googs.
The Googs are the Googs.
There's never been a Guggen bait on my boat, and there never will be.
I'm not gonna lie, that's how I feel. It's kind of shitty, Rob, but I feel like
What did Rob say?
if he
Hopefully
said that he
going out of
hopes they
business.
go out of business, I'm just like I could care less if they went out of business, man. I've never thrown any of their crap, and I really think that they just sell cheap shit to people that don't know
So
what they're.
Well, I mean, they don't know how to fish. So,
Martin used to throw Guggen baits in my boat, and then I
Even
started.
Squad is gone.
so the whole
Yeah,
thing
the
is
squad
gone?
is gone. Yeah.
So that dude, the whole company is crumbling right now, essentially.
Martin used to before tournaments because he knows we hate Guggen. Martin would throw Guggen baits in my boat, and then I started catching a bunch of fish in the tournaments.
down?
I started after I won
Yeah, I
like
just saw
2
his video.
tournaments in a row.
Get down.
Martin started stop throwing them in my boat. He's like, he might be using those.
Yeah,
It's like, I never used them. I did. Was like, how the fuck did these things get in my boat?
Yeah, I was talking about Lojo, Matt. I couldn't think of his name because I don't follow Guggen Squad. I just watched it because Chad sent it to me, saying, "Hey, can you watch this?"
Was
and
that
see
the
what's going
John?
on?"
Was that the John B video?
No, I didn't. So he just
John
said,
B posted a video too.
and he
The
never really.
Bandito bug might have been the only decent thing they ever made.
Yeah, but the the Bandito bug's not any better or
It's just a
worse
copy of other baits.
than a Strike King Rage bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not any better. It's not any worse, except in people's heads. I mean, Scott Martin did design it though, so it's got a little something going
Oh,
for it,
Scott Martin. We know how Jim feels about Scott Martin.
or at least Roland,
Anybody with the last name of Martin.
or last names that begin with L's.
L's. I don't understand. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't fuck
I
with-
do
I
remember
understand.
he built a boat for Rob. I'm pretty sure.
I
Which is pretty sick.
don't fuck with Guggen.
Rob
at
who?
all.
Rob who?
Rob Turkla.
Oh, whatever happened to Lake Fork guy? Is he still a thing? Because he was part of the Guggen thing for like in the early times, and then I think he was done with it.
Oh, that's funny.
Jim.
I thought he had a pretty decent YouTube following before Guggen. Lake Fork guy.
Who?
Lake Fork guy.
Yeah.
He was cool. He ran legend boats for a while
This is,
too.
Tweaked version of
J
the Rage
Boat
bug.
Bill Fishing. Thanks for joining, brother. The Bandito bug tweaked version of the Raid bug. Who made the Raid bug?
Rage
Strike
bug.
King.
Strike King.
Yeah.
Striking Rage bug.
Yep. If Strike King makes it and says rage in it, it's good. I don't care what it is.
Yeah, but here's the thing, Scott. Sorry, Josh. I didn't mean to call you Scott. I was reading your comment. People think of people
He's
go.
gonna want a boat built. Let's go.
People go. Oh my God! Scott Martin won Okeechobee on a Bandito bug. That must be the
He
ticket.
fishes Okeechobee his whole life.
But people don't stop to think of, would he have done the same thing with another bait?
Probably.
Absolutely.
Probably. I think so.
Put a rage bug in his hand. I guarantee you, he does.
Apparently,
the same
Lake Fork guy posted about leaving Guggen as well.
thing. Oh wow!
It's crumbling.
Yeah.
It's crumbling.
I wonder if they got bought by a parent company.
I don't want to sit here and talk crap because Matt's involved with Rob Circular and all that stuff,
But I'm not.
I'm not like
Fuck
I'm
him.
not like upset about it. I guess.
No
I'm
offense,
just,
Matt.
like,
I have no.
I really
I don't
just
hold
gotta-
anything against Matt for being involved with them, but I think Rob's an asshole. So
I don't know anything about him other than
I don't like his attitude.
I've
He
seen their
does have
baits.
a little bit of a weird attitude.
I've
but
seen their
never
baits
met
and
the guy
dicks,
in
and it's never
person,
like,
so I can't really judge.
Jim says that's the car salesman of the bass world.
I would agree with that 100%. But
Guggen, I could agree. Yeah.
here's the thing, though. If
Look
they
at this
get
beautiful car on the lot.
If
Check
they
it out.
get
it's got
people-
300,000 miles on it.
just look at it?
would you look at it? That great video. If they bring people into fishing though, is there value to that? If they bring people into the sport, is there value?
I'm sure that baits catch fish.
Look,
It's not even about that. It's not even about look, here's the deal, right? We all started somewhere. If you started on YouTube and bought Google and everything, and then you're like, wow, these baits actually suck, but I'm going to keep fishing.
I will say that I am.
Matt Downs is backing us up. We appreciate that. Thanks, brother.
So, I'm specifically talking about as far as value. Fuck their baits. Their baits don't bring any value. Their YouTube, it's great for what it is. It's entertaining pond fishing. For the most part, like that's what 90% of their videos were.
Josh said that he had a
Like
good
they were
time
fishing
fishing with
ponds.
Rob Turkler in the Bass Open. That's pretty cool. That's a cool experience.
Paul, can I get
Oh, you mean the one Bass Open that he didn't leave? He didn't leave early because he didn't catch him on the first day.
Damn, got him.
Oh, he's calling him out.
Okay. I don't like taking people's stuff without getting confirmation.
Is that like? I feel like that's not a thing with Bass and Beer Radio. I feel like mine is his and his is whores.
Yeah,
Everything
I don't
here.
give a shit.
Mine is his and his is
Well,
whores.
I still ask.
Whores.
Whore?
Can I have one?
If you want some nicotine,
No, I
that's
don't.
gonna hurt your feet. That's gonna hurt you.
No, I'm not.
you will
putting
get
that
the
in my mouth.
you will get the
I can
hiccups.
smell the shit.
You will get the hiccups, and you'll feel like you're gonna throw up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm gonna,
hurt
freaking
you.
go into the spins. I'm not touching that.
Too many people get all plus this is like the highest
You guys
nicotine
want to
level
hear? You
can
guys
get.
want to hear a funny story?
So too many people
Yes.
get fanboy about them. Meet them every day. See the true colors of them clowns. Are you talking about like?
Guggen.
Are you talking about like pros in general?
I think he's talking about
Who are
Guggen.
you talking about?
What's the funny story, Chad?
So I did.
Yeah, but it shouldn't change you, man.
I did
I know-
not-
I know
not
plenty of
dip,
millionaires.
But I did one of the. So back in high school, I was experimenting with dip,
I thought you meant
and
guys.
it wasn't actual dip, but it was one of the dip pouches.
Yeah.
So I did a snus pouch, and then they had like a normal dip pouch,
Okay.
and I did one on this side and one on this side,
Oh, you died.
and then I got into the school bus.
At the
And we started going up and down all the back roads and all the turns, and I puked out the window multiple times all the way until school, and then I called my mommy and had her come get me.
what
And that's
well,
why
she came and got you though.
yes, because I was
What an angel.
Because I was inherently sick from what I just did.
Did you tell her why you were sick?
No,
Does she know now?
I threw the. If she's watching, she does.
Dude, you should
Yeah, I
tag
could-
her. Please tag her and be like, "Hey, remember that time?" Oh my god, that's
Okay.
hilarious.
So Jim was talking about the Martins, and JT,
Did I cut myself? No. Okay.
which
Why
is
do you do that?
which is disappointing because JT seems like a cool guy.
You hate to see it. You hate to see it.
Why even do it anyway? You don't have to spit.
It's
Oh,
habitual.
God.
Yeah.
What?
There's no tobacco in it.
That's the only thing about it that I'm not. All right, so
Like you're
full
just
disclosure.
you're literally just swallowing spit.
Hold on. Hey, me. All right. Full.
That's the whole. That's the whole.
Can I
benefit.
see that?
If I had to spit, I wouldn't freaking.
Can I see that? So full disclosure, I've been a long cut guy for over a decade.
If I had to spit, I wouldn't. Buy
It's going
that.
to
I'd just
kill
buy
me.
dip.
It's going to kill me. All right. However, Paul,
Like the coffee pouches.
like every good friend, has peer pressured me into these things, which are tobacco-free nicotine pouches, and I say they're kind of nice. Zins hate them. These I like.
Have you done the caffeine pouches?
Oh, garbage, dude.
Yeah, that doesn't
Garbage.
do anything.
There's not enough caffeine in those things to get me anything. That's the only thing in my life that I've ever been addicted to is caffeine. If
Hey,
I don't
thanks for
have
the
caffeine,
subscription,
dude,
brother. We appreciate
it's
you.
not good. Like,
Matt uses the Black Buffalo pouches.
tried them, hate them.
Black buffalo pouches. That
Tried 'em.
sounds intense.
It's
I hate
it's
'em.
like chicory root,
Yeah.
Okay.
if I remember right.
It's not. I'm not saying it's a bad product for me though. I can't do it.
I wasn't a big fan. It had like it tasted like fabric to me.
Well, it's because it's not dip. It
Right,
Just,
it's because it's not tobacco, right? It's I think it's chicory root.
it is. Yeah.
But like you could taste, it tasted like. It tasted like wood.
It's like it's like
it had
foamy,
like a woody, like fabricy taste. Like I was like chewing on my shirt or something.
But those velos, dude,
whatever-
I can fuck with them.
As
Like,
long
they're-
as whatever you don't have tobacco in, and that works for you, more power to you. Because
Here's so Rob says in Marines he had a buddy put like a full vest Virginia pinch in. Yeah, dude. Like
I have so Frank has a picture of a dude he was in Texas with. They both went down to pre-practice. He's from Maryland, so he has a picture of this dude like full on asleep with the biggest. I mean,
Oh yeah.
like his lips hanging out like this, size dip, just like laying in the hotel room. Just
Like,
Dude.
some Matt Robertson type
My buddy,
shit,
the guy that we had on the show years ago, Cliff, my buddy Cliff Sanders, he would take an army PT
a
test
fucking horseshoe.
with snuff in,
Oh my god!
and it, like snuff just like falls apart, and like he just didn't give a shit. Like it was crazy.
You
man.
like
can't give a
snuff,
shit to do
like
what he
snuff,
did.
snuff.
Like Copenhagen silver top snuff.
The stuff you're supposed to put in your fucking nose.
I don't know.
That's
It's
Coke-
fine cut.
No.
It's fine cut. It comes in. It's fine cut with a cardboard bottom.
So there's
So
all,
I've actually
so
seen
the,
something
so the
crazy.
actual snuff comes in a can about this big,
And it's like powdery.
And it's
yeah,
powder.
Yeah. Mhm.
and it's
gross.
It's
It's
made
nasty
to put
as
in your.
shit.
It's made to put in your
Disgusting.
nose,
Absolutely horrendous.
like
So-
cocaine.
One of the things, so the coolest, one of the funniest slash coolest slash hilarious things I've ever seen. We were doing a ruck march one time, and this dude had a can of Copenhagen snuff in his pocket.
And an 8-ball.
No, had a can of Copenhagen snuff in his pocket, and this dude was like a PT stud. He was just an absolute monster. Could run, ruck, whatever you wanted, and it was real hot. And we were all sweating our ass off, and this dude just fell over, and it was like, whoa, like 'cause this dude could do everything. He had sweat so much, the nicotine had seeped through the cardboard bottom of the Copenhagen snuff can, and it started going in his blood vessels in his leg, and it just destroyed him. I've never seen anything like it. It was the most crazy thing I've ever seen, dude.
He looked like one of those tropical island bush bunnies with the plastic or with the wood saucers in his lip.
Now I will say, when I'm out in the field doing
Jesus
army
Christ,
shit,
Rob.
when I'm out in the field doing army shit, it's long cut all day. There's no substitute for it. But when you're in the office and when you're here, the nicotine pouches are nice. But like when you're with the men, yeah, it's Copenhagen. I mean, there's no substitute.
See, if I would go the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. Well, think about it. You're spitting all day, right?
What, like in the office?
No. Like if you're out, like out in the field,
Yeah.
spitting all day,
Sure.
hot as balls, right?
Yeah.
Well, what's spit?
Water. I mean, yes, it's water. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
You know.
But it's
So if I'm gonna be stuck out in the heat all
Disgusting
day,
flavored
it's a
water.
thing though, dude. It's
if
just
I'm gonna
a
be
thing.
stuck out in the heat all day, you're just dehydrating yourself.
It's just a thing. I mean, that's one thing I will say. Like, and I
Although
always,
it's horribly unprofessional to have a water bottle full.
it's
of
so
dip
funny
spit.
you say that.
You
It's
know
so
what's
funny you
horribly
say that, dude.
unprofessional is, and I don't care whatsoever, but Matt Robertson standing on the front of his boat taking a piss on live television.
You gotta pee.
So Jordan, last year on Lake Murray, Jordan Lee was doing that on live. Didn't realize he was on live and catches like he's still fishing. Catches a fish with his dick out.
Nice, nice.
That's awesome.
So I rarely talk about. I try to keep the military and personal life completely separate. But there is a funny story about this. When I was in my old unit, was a logistics unit, and a lot of us used.
Sell a can for $20.
Yeah, right. A lot of us dipped, but it was a thing like you said, it's unprofessional, right? So like I'd be in meetings with like battalion commanders, and I'd be sitting in the back with like a dip in, and somebody would be like, "Hey man, fucking spit that out, dude. What the fuck's wrong with you?" And now I'm in the infantry, and it's like, dude, when these guys are giving briefs to generals, they're like, "All right, sir." And all right, this is what we got. I'm like, this is awesome. I love this unit. This is great. It's so funny how that.
Do you have any?
The difference is like when you go from like a non-combat arms unit to like combat arms unit. Oh man, it's just.
Do you have anybody
so
that has like an old school spittoon in the corner?
I actually own a spittoon. I have it in my office.
Do you have
It's
one
just
of
a
those
nasty-
freaking-
It's a
do you have
brass
one of those-
spittoon.
Have you ever seen what's called? I think it's called like a mud jug. It's like one of those
It's
portable things. And
it's basically a spittoon.
it's a
Yeah.
spittoon, but like you can dump it over and it doesn't dump your
Yep.
spit out and shit.
So like
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, I have a brass spittoon, and if you spit on it, it will ting. It ting. Yeah, it's cool. Dude, it's
is
so cool.
badass.
It is so cool. But the problem is you miss it 9 times out of 10. So you
on
just have
carpet.
fucking shit all over your fucking floor, like dip spit. It's gross.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
God,
I
that's too funny.
did some work this week actually, and I was working in this room with this guy that was in there getting ready for a meeting. I'm not going to talk about where I work at or anything like that. But I like left later and was talking to somebody. Turns out the dude sitting there was a 2-star general.
Oh yeah. It's cool, right?
And I was like, I said things in front of that guy.
Yeah. Yep. Oh man, it's like I said, and this is the last I'm going to say because I keep it separate. It's you. I don't think you guys have ever seen it, but like me in the uniform is a different me than sits here because you have to be. You have to be able to turn it on and turn it off, or you're just going to be fucking miserable. But like, God, dude, there's nothing I love more than that the organization and the fucking United States military.
I don't know what that other number is.
It's its own. It's a beast. It's its own thing. And if you're not in it, you don't get it. And that's not to say if you don't get it, you ain't shit. But it's different, man. It's different. So that's all I'll say about that because I keep it separate. And,
Before I forget again, like the last.
It's not my whole
3 weeks.
personality type of thing. So.
Oh, you're good, man.
Rob says on duty, we cut a plastic liter bottle towards the top, invert it. Yep, there you go. Done that a number of times with the 2 liter. Yep, let's get a 2 liter bottle of Pepsi, cut the shit in half, and make a spittoon out of it. And we're gonna miss the floor about 100 times. Oh yeah, yep. Rob, thank you for your service, brother. I know you were a Marine for a while. Another friend of ours, Bunky Braglio. I don't know if he's on tonight. He was a Marine veteran for a long time. If you're on, Bunky, we appreciate your service too, man. You guys do a lot of stuff and keep us safe, keep us able to fish. But I'll tell you what, I don't see myself ever doing another career. It's just the way it is. It's in your blood.
We've kind of been on a tangent about
Dip.
and a bunch of different stuff right now, which is great, and I love the different conversations. But I do want to talk about a little bit of the differences that we see in the JDM market and the American market, and what brings value to the JDM market compared to the American market. And the American market obviously works. They obviously catch fish. But what are some of the differences? And are those differences worth the price point to you guys?
Oh, no, Rob. You don't. No. You stay away from Tony. Like that's me and you. When you're not with Rick, that's me.
Uh-oh.
Can't be letting Tony in on any of them upper bay secrets.
It's okay. I'll run to a stupid river that has no fish in it. Oh man, I don't know why I do that.
So
I do it all the time.
JDM baits. I think the biggest thing that I notice with JDM baits is detail.
That's a big thing. That's a big one.
Big thing.
You know, their
design and engineering of JDM baits is completely different than the American market.
I won't say it's completely different than the American market. It's completely different than like the big name brands.
The American market is more trying to focus on durability and effectiveness, where the JDM market is trying to do
realism.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the JDM market is trying to appeal to people that fish clear stained water in very high pressure systems.
Yes.
And
very clear water.
They tend to go to a more finesse body style in their baits.
Their mindset is making their baits look as realistic as possible.
Yes.
To try to trick that fish, especially when it comes to hard baits.
Which is yay or nay, depending on how you want to look at it. Like, I feel like if Kevin was on here, he's going to argue over the JDM to the American market because Kevin believes in the complete reaction bite when you're throwing a crankbait or something like that. And
that was pretty sick what he did.
It was great what he did with me, and I fully agree with it. But when you're sitting there and you're throwing a jerkbait or something of that nature, and you're going to pause that thing and you're going to let it sit in front of that fish's face for 5 to 10 seconds while it stares at it, I do believe that there is subtle differences in baits that can create a bite over others.
I do. I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. I think sometimes it goes a little too far because bass also don't see like we see.
Yeah, they do. Mm-hmm. They see different. For sure.
You know, and to be fair, like, you know, we know kind of how they see, but we don't know what something looks like to them. You know, we can dissect their eyes and look at the rods and cones, and we can kind of see what colors they see, but we can't see exactly what they see. So does that color, because that's the one thing that with like JDM baits that everybody knows, right?
They have like hand painted, the best paint jobs, the very best paint
jobs ever. You know, does that work better than just a white crankbait?
Maybe.
It
KVD
depends on the situation.
KVD's caught a lot of damn bass on
Yeah.
some straight king crankbaits.
Yep.
Let me just say that. And there's nothing special about them. But are they making that for that market? Who, because they're
But do you think KVD would even say that there's no place for JDM? Because I don't think he would. I think he would agree that there is a place.
He straight up said, "I don't need a Mega Bass 110. I can catch fish just fine on the straight king jerkbait." So I've never had any need to throw it.
You don't think
in his boat.
he owns any JDM lures?
He said he owns Mega Bass. He said they're not. He doesn't throw them. They're not in his boat.
Okay.
He said he's
I
never.
can't argue with that.
What's
up,
I'm just
JB?
going
Thanks
KVD.
for joining the show, brother.
Just say with KVD.
I like his comment, Jamie's comment. The detail is to give us confidence.
Right, and that's what I was getting. That's just what I was getting at because they have such a high pressured community over there. I feel like maybe
See, Dustin, that's bullshit. It's
The
not all
anglers-
about that. There is way more to it than that.
maybe the anglers over there, have more confidence in something that's more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just a regular old sexy shad crankbait may work just as well. But we all know that if you don't have confidence in a bait, it's not going to. You're not going to catch
There's
it.
a lot of the Japanese lakes and stuff over there they're clear water. There's not as many fish as them as there is over here in America. They're very highly pressured. So I think a lot of the JDM baits has a lot. They go to a lot of finesse details and more realistic details, 3D printed eyes, smaller profiles. I think JDM lures have unique and refined actions compared to some of the American-made market.
I think
stuff.
they definitely have unique. They definitely have some very unique baits, like the
I think their actions can be completely different from American lures.
that OSP dice, right?
Right.
Completely different, like that, and that's
Yeah.
cool. Like that's one of the things that I like about JDM is they think outside the box. Mm-hmm. They have a lot of outside the box thoughts. But I think as far as like the detail and the finesse, it goes in trends. Because we see the same thing here, right? Baits get hot. That's the style of bait, and we start fishing in that style, and then something happens, and somebody we know, or somebody wins a big tournament on the complete opposite, and then now that starts being the big thing again.
Right.
So I think you get a lot of trends in that. So
Uh-huh.
it's up and down with what's going to be popular, and I think that's even going to apply there because guess what? In 5 years, they're going to see every freaking finesse bait that's ever been made, and somebody's going to throw a Gancraft 178 out there and catch them, and then big baits are going to be the big thing again.
I think that some of those refined actions compared to from obviously over in Japan, but when you bring that to here, when everybody else is throwing what you can buy on Tackle, you can buy pretty much anything on Tackle Warehouse at this point. Walmart, Dick's Sporting Goods, anything like that. When you go to refine, you're going to have a lure that has a different action than what 70% of people out on the water are throwing.
So
it's going to be different.
So tell me this: why hasn't a jackhammer stopped catching fish?
Because it's awesome.
Literally, fish on the flats see thousands of jackhammers every weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Still catches fish.
I think the
Now,
spinnerbait is starting to become more prevalent again, though. I think
The
we're
spinnerbait
starting
never
to see-
stopped catching fish.
Yeah, I
It
don't
never
think it ever
stopped catching
stopped.
fish. I never said it stopped catching fish. I said everybody got accustomed
Right.
to the chatterbaits, and now people are starting to see that everybody's throwing a chatterbait. So let me go back to throwing the spinnerbait again.
And I think a lot of that is
it's
up,
in like a rotation.
and I think a lot of that is
Mental.
up here.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing that I want to bring up when we want to talk about JDM baits in the American market is our build quality and our materials that go into these baits specifically. I think the JDM lures use more premium materials in some of their baits. Now, the one thing that I will argue against with that in the JDM market that I've noticed because I've thrown a lot of JDM baits, their hooks are a lot more soft and or brittle than the American market.
Yeah.
From
Megabass
whatever
hook-
Megabass puts
Megabass
on there,
hooks sucks.
Megabass hooks are garbage. Now they are sticky as hell.
They're made by
They are sticky as hell, but you will freaking shear them right off them hooks.
They
if you
are-
pour something.
Bend them too. You bend
They
them
are
right.
apparently made by BKK.
BKK.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Bukaki.
I would upgrade my Megabass hooks to Hayabusa, Gamakatsu,
Martin Payne on. Martin Payne knows.
Ryugi. Ryugi makes good hooks.
I mean, VMC doesn't make bad hooks.
VMC makes terrible hooks.
I don't think so.
So their newer hooks, the VMC hybrid treble is a really good.
I can
really
use
nice
a
treble hook.
VMC hook, and one day later, it's about to rust through.
I don't have that issue.
So their hybrid treble hook is pretty good. It does not rust. That's a good hook. And their new red line hooks are really, really good.
The other thing,
Mustad was like the OG for hooks.
So when we talk about build quality and materials here, minus the hooks, JDM was one of the first ones to start developing a weight transfer system. And in the weight transfer system, they refined that weight transfer system into something that we all are more familiar with now.
I thought the
And that
X-Wrap
that
was the first
no,
one.
that was originated through it was tested through both. It was tested on American market and the Japanese market. It was refined on the Japanese market where you found it in some of the Megabass products, and then was brought over and more refined in the American market later on. But JDM was the first to start really refining the weight transfer system, which makes a massive difference in what we see now and what we're using now. Where in the American lures, they're durable. They might not always have the refinement that the JDM lures do, in my personal opinion. It's like, I feel like the testing that the Japanese people do with their lures isn't the same.
I could be wrong, but I remember the first weight transfer bait that I remember was the X-Wrap. The Rapala X-Wrap.
That doesn't mean that it didn't come from a JDM market, though. JDM market's been around for a very long time as well.
It's true. But
Think about, like, Megabass is from... When did Megabass actually start? Megabass is
95.
pretty old.
Like 95. It was early to mid 90s. It was like 93.
They've
95,
been around
something like that.
longer than people recognize.
yeah.
And if we know... So, like, obviously, I'm an American. I don't know much about the Japanese culture, but what I do know about the Japanese culture is...
Oh, apparently it was not Megabass either.
No, it was Daiwa.
No, it was Zip Bait. It was a
I
Japanese
I
company.
thought it was like Yozuri and Daiwa that really started to refine it.
So I was reading through a random forum here real quick, and the company who perfected the weight transfer system in Japan was Zip Baits. Their Orbit 80 was a jerk bait that only weighs 5/16 of an ounce, but casts better than any other jerk bait.
Facebook.
And
So,
that was,
We got a good comment
that's
from
kinda crazy.
Bass Fishing HQ. Bass Fishing HQ is a super popular, very, very popular YouTube channel. Hey man, we appreciate you joining us.
Thank you.
I'm pretty hyped that you're commenting on here. That's pretty cool, man. We are nowhere near what you do, so the fact that you're on here talking to us is pretty awesome. We appreciate you joining.
I like that comment. I feel like JDM companies are more willing to simply develop new products. That's different refinement. That is, what is the word that I'm looking for here?
This is
They're willing to make new shit and try different things, where American market companies are just willing to copy and mass produce. 110%.
So I was curious about that. So this is straight from Seiji Kato, from Daiwa. The first weight transfer system was the K10 minnow from K10 Lures. So that's straight from an interview.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I know I just threw a plug out there,
Holy
but
crap.
Bass Fishing HQ's Tyler Berger's got an awesome YouTube following. If you guys haven't checked him out, check him out. One of the most informative guys out there. If you're still on, buddy, how did you find us? Because we're just curious. Because we're like we're pretty localized here, and obviously you're one of the most successful fishing YouTubers out there. So again, super hyped that you're joining us, man. I do agree with this comment though. Americans are just willing to make a copy and mass produce. I mean, we saw that with the jackhammer,
look
right?
At Berkeley. Well, you got the jackhammer. Look at Berkeley. Look at what they did with the flag, like 175, and they developed the Berkeley, whatever that thing is that I won't even throw.
Well, I mean, I think the jackhammer is like the poster shot of it, right? Evergreen made it, and it was huge in Japan, and then it was so big that Z-Man said, "Look, just let us use it."
Now,
right?
here's
Do you want to know what? That you can thank Bread Height for that.
But wasn't it started in Japan?
Yes. So
Yeah,
Bread Height's been with Evergreen for a long time. They designed the jackhammer, him and Marizo Shimizu.
Sure.
what's up, Lil John?
So they were importing them into the U.S. Z-Man found out about it and was like, "Hey, you guys can't bring them in here. No.
Right.
Because we got a patent." So they worked out Bret Height worked out a deal with Z-Man to be able to sell them in the United States under the Z-Man name.
Yeah. And it even had the Evergreen. It was part of it on the package. It said like buy Evergreen or
So
something.
they partnered with Evergreen to do that.
Now, does Evergreen still make their own chatterbait? Okay, cool. Is it priced better than a jackhammer?
JDM
No, it's the
stuff
same
over
price.
there that you
Okay.
can't get over here.
It's like, well, you can get them a little. You can actually get them a little cheaper, but they're not much. I mean, it's not much cheaper. You're basically paying the tariffs on it.
Oh, well, thanks for joining, man. We appreciate it. We just I just subscribed to your YouTube page.
Yeah, Chad was talking about JDM. So we're from Maryland, right? So we fish a lot of tidal.
We're about as far from Japan as you can get.
Yeah, right. So like for us, JDM it's almost more of a conversation piece because tidal was dominated by a couple of baits. We talk about it, but we don't get a lot of opportunities to actually get into the JDM and test it like guys that fish Highland reservoirs or guys that are fishing whatever.
No idea why bass keep eating a chatterbait, but they do.
Dude, this is like the capital of the world for chatterbaits is right here, Potomac and the Upper Chesapeake Bay. If you want to come fish a chatterbait, this is definitely the place. So hit us up. If you ever want to come fish here, let us know. You will catch a ridiculous amount of fish on chatterbait here. It's ridiculous.
I will say that like there are certain JDM baits that could offer a different. I could see there JDM hard baits. I'm not 100% sold on.
I think it's a cool
because I don't think that like
It's my cousin.
I don't think a
Hi, Taylor.
I don't think a mega bass square bill is really any better than any of the 5 other square bills that are out there. Jerk baits, I will say that they make a good jerk bait, but there are also other good jerk baits on the market. However, soft baits,
yeah, I think it's a big deal.
where profile makes such a big difference.
I would agree with that.
See that's
the big thing to me is innovation.
like Chad said, when you have a when you have a bait that a fish is looking at.
Yeah. The big thing to me is
I think some of their soft baits, some of the JDM soft baits are ridiculous.
I feel like a lot of the
and they're so off the wall too.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the groundbreaking stuff that comes here and is really hot for a couple years is usually comes straight out of Japan. I mean,
A lot of
they
it does.
seem to really hit it with innovating a new bait or a new profile, and then it comes here and it's big. We saw that with the jackhammer.
Well, then everybody else copies it. And
Megabass, the 110. I mean, Megabass is a Japanese company, obviously.
Taylor, you gotta send me a message to the phone. What size shirt you have? I have some T-shirts laying around. I can get you one.
But yeah, no, I definitely think that it's important. Now, I will say one of my buddies, Travis Metz, who fishes a lot with Ott Defoe, who you may have heard of, because they're cousins. Ott Defoe is very in tune with the JDM market, so a lot of times he is fishing baits on the Pro Series that are very new in JDM, and you see them.
or he made them.
Well, that.
They're like, oh, that looks cool.
Or
Whittle out this crankbait real quick.
And a lot of stuff that Ott's out there throwing, you'll see it to our level 2-3 years down the road, which I think is cool. And that Travis has always got the latest and greatest cool bait because he got it from Ott, who got it from Japan. So I do think that's pretty neat how how you get a lot of cool stuff from Japan that comes over here and it becomes big. But a lot of the stuff we use was started over there. Again, jackhammer, Megabass 110. I'm sure there's lots of other good examples of that stuff. Jim says main thing with the hardboard is they look different than all the baits. I'm telling you, fish get smart to looks and sound.
Like that.
Slight difference makes a
pretty
difference
sick
on
looking
pressured fish. Yeah, I agree.
Depths.
Yeah.
They have stuff that
Like their plastics is where it's at. Like to me, like hard baits.
I
I'm
can
like,
agree. It's a reaction bite.
Yeah, it's
just
a reaction
like what
bite.
Kevin, it's just like Kevin would do. He'd freaking throw this bullet at you, and you would catch it, and you would just be like, "What color was that?"
and I think,
You don't know what color it was.
and I
You just
think-
caught it.
I think with even with plastics, right? I think a lot of times that doesn't matter. Like Kevin said, it's a reaction bite. It's you're dry. It's I'm fishing a Texas rig. It's just dropping down through that tree. They're eating it. But like if I'm dragging a shaky head or doing more finesse techniques like that, I can definitely see. I can tell you that one of my favorite jig head minnow baits is a depth Sakamata shad. That thing is badass.
Hanging mini.
Hanging a
God, I
minnow,
love, dude.
hanging
I
a
loved
minnow,
it.
Rob. Hanging a minnow.
Always going to be
That's
hanging a
Sakamata
mini.
shit, and it doesn't really have.
We're
like,
gonna
a
get
ton
banned for saying "hanging a minnow."
It doesn't really have a ton of detail to it or anything.
Hanging a minnow.
It's just a good bait. So, yes, I am fishing Sunday.
And then obviously, if we want to go on and we want to continue to talk about the JDM stuff here, another thing that is what kills the JDM market in America, in my opinion, is the fact that you can go somewhere and buy a bunch of crankbaits for $7, or you can buy one for $25 to $30 in the JDM market.
Right.
And that turns many people off from even exploring the JDM market.
I don't know, Bass Fishing HQ, that mooch minnow is a bad little bait. That is a bad little minnow.
Dude, that thing is taking the world by
Yeah,
storm.
the freaking mooch
It really
minnow probably
has.
came from JDM somewhere.
That thing
That
is
a
taking the world by
bad
storm.
minnow.
I can tell you, when we were on Lake Anna, I marked some fish and was throwing at them I threw a juggle minnow at them. They went the other way on it. It was
Yeah, yeah.
weird. I don't know what's
Screw that juggle minnow.
It's a great chatterbait trailer for like a small chatterbait. It's really good with that. I have yet to catch fish on it hanging a mini. I threw the Yum forward facing sonar minnow, 2 different sizes, nothing. The first cast with the mooch minnow, there's a 4.5 pounder.
Right?
Like, why?
I don't know.
And it's
There's
dominant,
something,
man.
There is something about that. There's something about that bait that, I call it that one day in January. I call it 75 or 80 on it
Yeah.
in in a 4-hour period.
And I think
It
it's
was stupid.
That's great.
And they wouldn't touch anything else.
I give Rapala a ton of credit because they've been around for forever. One of the OG fishing companies. And I remember growing up for years, throwing the original minnow and the DTs and the DT
floating minnow
fats.
I caught so many fish on a float.
Oh yeah, but it's like for years I remember just thinking like, why doesn't Rapala make soft baits? They made them for like walleye fishing and
do.
stuff like that. Now they do, and they're all awesome.
I haven't tried out. I've really only. I've thrown the freeloader.
It's such a good bait.
Great,
Oh my god,
great,
it's so good.
Great chatterbait trailer.
Good for Demicky rig too. Really, really, really good.
Yeah, it's good when you want that bigger profile. Mm-hmm. Which I typically don't most of the time. Not all the time.
Caught a lot of fish on that thing.
But I just bought a bunch of their other baits. Specifically their flipping baits, just to give them a try, and I just pulled them out of pulled a couple out of the package the other day, and they're good baits. I know they're I know they're gonna catch fish.
Right.
Freaking Bronco bug. I just watched Jacob Wheeler wail on them on the Harris chain.
Right.
Right. So I know it catches fish.
Right.
Now,
Yeah.
will it catch fish around here? I don't know.
Yeah.
Jim says, I can say JDM reels rule better real shit. We can't. Have you been drinking beer?
Probably. He's. I'm gonna try to read this comment. Jim says I can say JDM reels rule better. Reels shit. Okay.
So he's buying the exact same reel. He's just not paying the. He's not paying the import tariffs that.
Yeah.
The
Okay, that makes
manufacturers have to
sense.
take. So the Metanium. A Metanium is a Metanium. If I am I could be wrong, but
That
a
is
Metanium.
a fantastic reel.
Jim says damn spell check.
A JDM Metanium and a Metanium that's sold here is the same reel,
Right.
as far as I know.
I'm working on a guest, a guy I follow on YouTube who is from Japan and he lives in the United States and fishes here.
Hi,
the problem with YouTube is YouTube
Thanks for
doesn't
joining
let
us.
YouTube doesn't let you DM people. So every time I post a comment on this thing hey man, we'd love to have you on the show, it YouTube deletes it. It's really frustrating. Tyler, you're a good YouTuber, one of the best. if you know a way for us to like contact other YouTubers, like DM level, because I'm trying to get this guy on the show. I can't figure it out. If you know a way, please let us know.
She even put the fish and the beer in there when she said hi.
Nice.
She knows what's up.
Bass and beer.
She already knows what's up.
We do drink beer on the show, believe it or not. It's kind of in the name.
Just a few.
Cheers to you, Brittany. Thank you.
There's a lot of dead soldiers on this table right now.
Yes. That's what we're talking about. These right here.
Dead soldiers. I like that. Well, I don't like that.
You never heard that before?
Different. No, not really.
It's a thing. It's a terminology. I really want to find this guy, dude. I'm now that we're like on the JDM thing, I'm really gonna try to figure out how to get this dude on the show because he's a very, very smart guy, and I'm just like,
I feel like we need to have Bass Fishing HQ on the show.
Yeah.
That would be pretty awesome. You know, Tyler does run an icon. Tyler, if you have anything to say about your icon, Chad and I have crawled through one up at JCS
What
Marine.
a beautiful, very well put together boat.
Yeah, dude.
There you go. Instagram's probably the best way to find them.
Yeah, I'll have to look him up. So like, I'm not an icon hater. I hate the price. I will say that. But when we looked through one at JCS Marine, I was like, this boat's legit. This boat is legit. Oh, you know what? Here's one other topic I want to talk about. Heavy trolling motors.
Okay, ADD.
I know. And so the reason why is because I've been going down this rabbit hole recently. So a lot of guys today are, like I did, are restoring older boats. The problem is a lot of older boats, regardless of any brand, they were built for a 70, 80, maybe 90 pound thrust trolling motor.
Like an old motor guide.
That was light.
That didn't weigh much at all.
And it didn't have the power. And like, these guys are putting quests on older champions, bullets, rangers, whatever. And it's like, it's pushing limits of what the boat can handle.
I think I mentioned this the other day, but when I put my Ultrex on my Champion, I went to a 52 inch. Mm-hmm. So I had to drill new holes.
Right.
So Champions, in the front, there's actually a piece of metal glassed into the boat where
that's smart. That's really smart, actually.
Because I'm drilling. I'm like, why is this so hard? And then like metal shavings start coming out.
Drill.
Right.
Drill, baby, drill.
So I don't know how thick it is because obviously I can't see it. It's it's in the fiberglass, but there's definitely my Champion had a piece of metal reinforcing that was glassed in.
So I had this conversation with Morgan Oliver last week because I was talking about it. I was like, man, I wonder if I bit off more than I can chew with the Quest. And he's like, to be honest with you, and because Morgan at Propeller Dynamics, they go through a ton of boats. He told me he has seen an Icon, a Camus, and a Skeeter with stress cracks by the mounting bracket on Icon, Skeeter, and Camus from the Quest, from the combination of the weight and the thrust.
It's funny that like 16 pounds heavier makes such a big difference on that.
Well, it does.
But the thrust too. I mean, there is a lot of.
Well, think of it like this. I mean, if you play baseball, an 80-mile-an-hour fastball to the rib cage, it's uncomfortable. But an 80-mile-an-hour fastball versus an 80-mile-an-hour soccer ball, that's a big difference. It hurts a lot more. And I think that's what we're seeing.
What, a soccer ball?
Well, whatever. You know what I mean?
I feel like a baseball is still going to hurt more.
It's about the weight. It's about the weight behind it. And I feel like we're at that point where these trolling motors are, I mean, a 112 or 115 Quest is like a 3 to 4 horsepower trolling motor. Guys used to put that on the back of their John boats.
Jim, I will tell you that my Raptors, my Minn Kota Raptors are better than my power pole blades.
I second that. I think the Raptors are incredible.
I've ran both. I have personally ran both. I had CM2 blades. I wasn't running the old ones. They were new blades. My Raptors are far and away better than my blades.
Yeah, I think they're honestly,
I don't think Power Pole has the best shallow water anchor on the market.
Now the one pump is a big deal. The one pump's a big deal.
The one pump is cool. That's a very, very good feature, and they have fantastic customer service, and they make a fantastic product. Their product is top notch, 100%. I'm not talking shit about them, but my Raptors are built better.
They're definitely beefier and they're stronger, I think, and they're maintenance free.
Right.
They're a maintenance. That's the biggest.
I don't have to worry about replacing bushings every 2 years.
Yep.
So
Is there a new trolling motor that's about to come out on the market, or that is out on the market, like the freaking
the Garmin Force Pro.
dude? If you're still watching, what is the trolling motor that you talked to me about earlier? I swear to you, it had some crazy name.
The Kraken?
Yes,
That's a Garmin. That's the Garmin saltwater motor.
it's a Garmin saltwater motor.
Okay.
The Kraken.
Or the Power Pole. Or maybe that's the Power Pole one. I don't know. It's one of those two. But yeah, it's out.
I'm not up to date on that.
Jim, and here's the other thing. When you price out the Raptors versus the Blades, it's a significant difference in price.
I wouldn't say significant.
It's a couple $100.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
like
it's cheaper to get Raptors.
10%.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's not significant.
I also think the brackets are better. I think the Minn Kota brackets are better.
I'm indifferent.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I say that because when I handed,
I do
so,
like I like the Raptor brackets, but
So I gave
there's
Kevin.
things I liked about the Power Pole brackets.
I gave Kevin my old Raptor brackets, and he compared them to his Power Pole brackets. He's like, these things are just way better. Now he also had Pro Series. He didn't have Blades. I don't know if there's different brackets in Power
the same.
Pole.
They use the same brackets for.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Okay. I can tell you on the Ranger, now I had to go with Hydrilla Gear brackets on the Bullet because of the transom design. The brackets, the Minn Kota brackets, dude, you could not move
Your
those.
brackets are like
Super tight.
super tight.
Yeah.
It honestly kind of looks good though.
Well, they have to be because of the transom design of the boat.
Right.
So, but yeah,
So you have to run them that tight just to keep them from hitting those corners.
I feel like my poles are like spread out super far, where yours are like in super tight, and then they just like go out.
and I will tell you this.
Having them out, the farther you can get them spread, the better.
Exactly.
Yes, I've noticed that. I have noticed
100%.
that. Is
It's probably
that
very stable.
Just hold, it'll hold you better.
they held better with the Ranger. Now the Ranger was a 19-foot, the Bullet's 22.
You're also running the 10-footers.
Yes, the 10-footers are just not going to hold as
Which,
good.
however, though, in retrospective, you're thinking about
they
it,
have
like
more
the 10
flex.
footers, you have more there,
Look,
so you
think of it
probably
like
could
this.
have more flex.
Yeah, it has more flex. The
Right.
spike's longer,
If I take this
if
pencil,
I remember right.
if I take this pencil and hold it like this, I can hold it pretty steady. Give me a 6-foot piece of wood. It's going to be a lot harder to hold it steady. It's just
Right.
it's just the way it's physics.
It's
just the way it is.
We got Todd in the house. What's up, Todd? Good to see you, brother.
We got to get Todd hooked up with Jason.
Dude, we need to go
They
back
can weigh
up to
10
Rhode
pounds.
Island and just hang out with the JCS crew.
They can weigh
Todd.
10 pounds heavier on each side. If I don't have to fuck with them every year and a half, then I'm perfectly happy.
Did you ever have to mess with your
that.
blades?
Oh, I replaced the bushings twice in them.
Wow. Yeah. I can tell you right now, my Raptors, I've had them for, this will be my
It was like
third season with them. Never had a problem.
and they
ever.
probably needed them again when I sold it. But
Really? Wow.
I mean, it was like an every 2-year thing. I had to replace the bushings.
It's kind of a pain in the ass. It kind of is. But anyway, Chad, it's 9:35. Yeah. What else are we talking about? Are we getting ready to sign off for the evening?
We kind of have covered everything that we wanted to talk about tonight, but it's just like, as you know, with Bass and Beer Radio, the conversation can just go on and on and on because we can shoot the shit and have a good time no matter what. If any of you guys in the that are watching the show right now, if you guys have any questions or any conversations that you're interested in having talking about, let us know and we could put our brains together and probably figure out something.
I could use my 2 brain cells.
2.
Just
I mean,
2.
we
Just
have
two.
we have like 10 between the 3 of us. So
Yeah.
What did you say your favorite flavored crayon was again?
Yellow, because it tastes like lemonade.
The yellow one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the blue one.
I thought you were in the Army, not the Marines.
Well, same thing. Well, not the same thing, but the love for eating inanimate objects is always a thing.
Let's talk about buttered sausage.
I like eating rocks.
Oh my God, Todd says let's talk about. I still think I love the fact that Todd dug a pond in his yard so he could have oysters.
That is tight.
That is
kinda
awesome.
crazy.
That is an ingenious man. And you know what the crazy part is? This man showed up with a massive cooler full of oysters.
Oh, yeah,
like
it's
it's not
awesome.
like he's just getting 3 oysters at a time. He is getting coolerfuls of oysters out of his pond.
That's so crazy.
It's wild. He's
Todd,
also-
more power to you, brother. That's awesome.
and he was also the first one to have me try a raw oyster. And they weren't bad. They were not bad. I'm glad they were out of Todd's pond. Let's put it that way.
I will say that I did not have an issue with like eating raw oysters, and I thought they were okay. But I got so violently sick the one and only time that I ate raw oysters that I will never touch them again.
Yeah.
I
was a little bit nervous about that myself, but we were up there with the JCS Marine crew. We were having a good time. Todd broke them out, and everybody else was slurping them down. So it was like they can't be dangerous if everybody else is slurping them down. So I hit 2 of them. They were pretty good.
Other people were we had them at Thanksgiving.
A little bit of the cocktail sauce.
Everybody was eating. Everybody was eating. I was the only one that got sick.
It was like it probably wasn't the oysters then.
It wasn't the oysters. It was probably something on the oysters. But
or you just had a stomach flu that happened to hit you.
Oh no,
it's enough to keep.
Oh no, it went from dinner to I was literally up all night.
Damn, that sucks.
At both ends.
That's
just
unfortunate.
Everywhere. Just
double whammy.
Jim says I like magenta colored crayons.
What do they taste like? Ooh, I gotta try this.
Yeah, it was a terrible experience. It was cool. I tried it once. I will say they were good. I didn't have any problem with them. I thought they were okay, but I can't go through. I'm not risking going through that again.
Hold up, I gotta ask though.
They weren't that good. Put it that way, they weren't that good.
What is buttered sausage? Is there like it's not just a sausage with butter on it? I feel like it's got to be more than that.
Sounds like a wiener.
Ew.
It's a lubed up wiener.
What about the beer Adam made us try? It was like milk beer.
That was horrible.
I mean, I drank it.
You'll drink anything.
You drink Clamato beer.
You showed up there with the Clamato.
Hey, don't hate it.
I do.
It has clam. It's freaking clam juice.
It's clam juice, tomato juice, and beer.
Yeah,
in
it's pretty great.
Can.
It's awesome. It's amazing.
That is. It seems dangerous, is what it is.
Probably, but I enjoy it. I live on the edge.
Talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage. Where it comes from. What it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face.
Gary Busey.
What the hell? How did we just find that?
I googled butter sausage. I was like, "What is he talking about butter sausage?"
Buttered sausage.
It was Gary Busey.
Oh, nice.
That is
Is that from like a stand-up routine or is that like from a movie?
No, that's just him being stupid.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
Like on an interview, like he's crazy.
Nice. And then
sure enough, I just found it. I was just playing it for these guys.
Sure enough.
Oh, there it is, the Gary Busey buttered
Oh,
sausage.
truffle butter. Oh.
Anyway, I think we're probably gonna call it. It's getting to be about that time. We're almost at hour 3. Chad, you got anything else before we sign off? And we pretty much hit everything.
Buttered sausage.
Who's going fishing this weekend?
Hopefully.
Not me.
If the wind doesn't
I'm going
suck.
snowboarding.
If the wind doesn't kill us, I'm going to try to go out.
I'm going out anyway.
Everybody's
go to Havertys.
everybody's ready to go fishing. I still
go to
want to go
Havertys.
snowboarding.
Yeah, I probably will.
Like at the least, like if it's too windy, you can. It's a northwest wind.
Yeah,
you can just go to the
hide.
back channel.
Right. That's a good idea. I'll probably just do that. Jim, thanks for joining us, man. Always appreciate you.
You can always run it on the back channel too.
That's
like
true.
You got plenty of room there.
Yep.
You won't have any wind until you get to the mouth of Swan Creek.
Yep.
That's a long way to air that boat out.
Rob says, let's all say 3 Hail Marys if the grass comes back in the GP. Absolutely.
Right.
Agreed. So, with that being said, I think we're going to rock and roll. Tyler from Bass Fishing HQ, enjoy. Thanks for joining us, man. Always welcome here.
Hey, give us a subscribe, buddy. His name's Tyler?
Yeah. Yep.
Give us a subscribe, Tyler. We appreciate it. We really hope to see you on the show again next week. We would love to talk with you.
And definitely want to say kudos to what you do on YouTube, man. You have one of the best channels. I watch all your stuff. One of the best channels out there, man.
I texted my buddy and I was like, dude, the guy from Bass Fishing HQ is on the show right now. And he was like, what?
Yeah, right? I know.
So
awesome,
that's
right?
super sick. Thank you for joining the show, man.
Yeah, it'll be 46 degrees in chocolate milk, Rob.
Hell yeah.
All that rain we got the other night.
Oh, yeah.
Jamie, thank you for joining the show, brother. It's good to have you on here. Jamie, I think we met Jamie on the Maryland fishing page. And, he is one of the guys that throws glide baits and stuff around here too. And he's been killing it recently. Like, I don't know where he's fishing. I don't want to ask him where he's fishing, but he's been fishing around here, throwing some of the chads around, and he's been hammering some of the smallmouth here recently.
Smallmouth, huh?
Yeah.
Probably hitting the Potomac.
And a couple largies that I've seen. Nice. So he's been killing it.
Awesome. Well, hey, thanks for joining us, everybody, tonight. We appreciate you. As always, join us next week or next Friday for another episode, and we'll see you then.
Peace out, guys. Thanks for joining.